Am I live? This is live. I hope you guys can hear me. I'm going solo so far. Look at that. Wow. This is cool. Well, welcome to another show. Children of Primus. I usually always say Children of the Primus, but I shouldn't be really saying that. I should say Children of Primus because I'm like that. So I hope it's going to be another exciting show for everybody to listen and watch, or watch or listen. I have dyslexia, so whatever comes first. Okay. Well, we're just going to be waiting for Spin and Professor D. We got our amazing writer, Anthony, that's going to be joining us around the 8:30 mark. So I'm going to be trying to fill in that time and try to entertain everybody. I hope it goes accordingly. So again, welcome to Children of Primus. We thankful that you're here to watch us. Again, we do have a website. Please visit. It's called childrenofprimus.com. There you can find toys, collectibles, third party, comic books, video games, whatever you want. It's a free classified to use. And not just only that, there are news and reviews. You can watch anything you want. You can read anything you want about Transformers. All the news and updates and whatever came out. Speaking coming out, we got a little bit of news happening with the Transformer Rise of the Beast. I would like to talk about that a little bit more when I have my other partners on here. So as you can tell, I'm trying to stall for time. Wow, this is incredible. I don't know how Spin does this. I apparently I missed a group call from everybody else. So, what do we got here? Do we got people posting? Do we got people commenting? Do we got people checking out the stream? I hope so. And I like to talk about, what do I want to talk about today? Or until everybody gets on with me, what do I want to talk about? Toys? Do you guys want to talk about the figures? Or do you want me to talk about the figures? Let's see. So apparently there's some new figures that are coming out that are scheduled. And again, I'm just waiting for everybody else to jump on because I don't want to talk about it all by myself and then I got to rehash it again, right? I'm just waiting for some people to jump on so we can say, hey, what's up? We can have a little bit of one-on-one conversation. What it says, live viewers show. Oh, check that out. I'm learning things on the fly here. So we are using StreamYard, and I've never really used it myself. Our technical guy, Spin, he's the guy that does everything. Without him, I think the rest of us will be like, left out. We wouldn't be doing this. So we got to give credit to Spin for doing that. What else we could talk about here? Wow, this is interesting. I say this because I've never been in a position like this where I got to talk on my own. And now I can see how hard it is. So when you listen to those guys on the radio or a podcast and they're on their own and they're just talking about any kind of topic and they're just going on and on, that's fantastic because they're able to do that. I still have to learn how to do that. That's why I prefer the other guys talking with me. And there's a lot of ums too, right? Just to fill that in. And I know that's a no-no. I'm trying not to do that, okay? But I really want to talk about Transformer. I really do. And that's why I'm hoping for someone to jump on and to chat with me so we can talk about Transformer, whatever you want. And that's the beauty of this show. This show's all about what? It's about you guys, really. It's not about us. It's about you guys. It's really for you to come on here, talk to us. That's why we call it Freestyle Frenzy Sunday. We just want to talk about everything. Anything and anything, whatever you guys want to talk about. And we see some kind of person looks like might be jumping on. Let's see who could that be. Could that be D? Could that be Professor D? I have to call him Professor. You see, if some of you are not aware of this, Professor D is actually a university professor. It really is, and kudos for him. He did a lot to earn that PhD, and you know what? Could have given him a lot of credit in the world to get that. Good for him. And then we got Spin, and the reason why we call him Spin is because once again, he used to be DJ, or he still DJs on the side here. Oh, we got
I'm here. We got hands. Lend hand.
Am I getting hands?
Lend hand. A round of applause, everybody.
Or am I going to get these hands? Which one is it?
You get the.
Give me 1 second because my beautiful wife decided to put on the dishwasher while this show's on, and I'm pretty sure people can hear it in the background. So I'm just going to pause it, and I'll be right back. So D, can you just give me 2 seconds?
Yeah, sure. Is Spin here with us?
No, it's just you and I. So it's gonna be a talk between the OGs here.
Wait, did you just?
I thought.
We're on. The stream is rescheduled. But look, are you seeing these messages from Mike? He just.
No, I haven't seen anything as of yet because I've been trying to fill in the time. I think I did a pretty good job.
He doesn't think. He's sending me messages saying that he's going to restart the stream.
Oh, because on my side here it says live, and I talked for about 7 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. So you didn't look at Facebook?
No, because I only have one monitor with me as today because my son decided to kick me out of my little.
Okay. So we setup. May be. So here's two possibilities. One is you successfully started it, and Spin doesn't actually realize that. Or two, you've been talking for 7 minutes, and this live thing just means that it's you and I are talking to each other live, but we're not actually broadcasting anywhere.
No, because on the corner of this it says "End broadcast," and I have one person watching right now.
Oh, okay.
And we get a like too. Okay, hold on. Let me just go pause the dishwasher. Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Thanks.
Now, he asked me if he could pause the dishwasher earlier. I didn't realize. He said, I'm going to pause right here. I thought he said he was going to mute his mic or something. Did not realize. I was holding him up from pausing the dishwasher. How silly of me.
All right.
Dishwasher didn't give you any trouble? No resistance?
No, it was futile.
Not. Oh, well, there you go.
See, if you can tell by the background that I have too, right? It's you can tell I'm in my dining room.
I've seen you there before. My question, here's what I'm saying to you. Can you are you using your phone or your computer?
I'm using my computer.
Okay, so just look on your phone and just go to either YouTube or Facebook and just confirm if we're streaming.
Okay, let's do that. We're going to go to Facebook. And we're going to go to Children of Primus. And we're live.
Okay, awesome. So, you just seem like you froze, but you're just reading?
No, I'm sorry. I was just reading something here. So yeah, we are definitely live.
Okay, so now take a look at the text that Spin has been sending.
All right.
Will I show everybody else?
I don't see you. I'm going to try to manually start.
Yeah, so he thinks he's talking about restarting the whole stream.
No, it says no. There's no new link. The link takes time to make and an hour to promote to all the groups.
I'm not asking you to read it to me.
No. It says mic is on now. Okay, I don't know if it meant by I'm on meaning that I'm waiting in the background, but it says I don't know if it's showing now or starts then, but just keep going. So he doesn't know if he ended it correctly or not. It's okay, man. We're on. It's you and I. Let's do this.
All right, cool. Oh, but did you send him? While you're looking at those messages, send him a message saying we are on right now.
Oh my goodness! Like this is like too many things here.
Okay, but that's because he's. You just read these texts that says that he's gonna stop the thing and start it again.
Okay, hold on. Just 1 second.
Astro Train is unimpressed.
Astro Train kiss my ass.
Low on Energon.
Here, I'll give you some Energon. You ready?
Now look, do you see that he said just before you? Do you see that? He just left a message right before you, and he said he rescheduled the stream for 8:35.
How can he do that when we're on?
Now you understand what I've been saying to you for the last 5 minutes. 4 minutes, to be fair. Because now it's, we're in the 12th minute.
Well, we're on. It doesn't matter. Let's go. Let's do it, man. Come on.
You have to let him know.
I just said D and I are live.
But he didn't. But he hasn't seen that because he said.
I can't control that.
All right.
I can't go through the phone and grab him by the neck and say, "Hey, look at your phone, man. I sent you a message."
All right. Well, how about we begin? So Anthony is joining us when?
At the 8:30 mark. So you might just reply back. I see.
Yeah. But so.
Okay. But let's just start, man. Don't worry about it. Why are you getting all stressed for?
Because I was trying to start. I was just telling you to tell Spin this thing, and you took 4 or 5 minutes to tell him.
Because I was talking on the broadcast.
Because you were talking. No, I'm talking about when I showed up. I showed up at 7. It took me till 11 minutes and 20 seconds to convince you to tell Spin that we are live.
D, wrap it up, man. Let's just start.
Actually, I'm unwrapping. I'm unwrapping today.
Okay. Unwrap it.
So
make sure you got protection. That's all.
Jimmy.
Oh, you know Jimmy too.
So it's
Why am I on an angle? I don't know. Whatever. Go ahead.
Because you're askew. Something about you is rather obtuse. This is the Mech Fans Toys or Mechanic Studios Flywheel, aka Trax.
Nice.
So
put it up, man.
All right, fine. Be like,
I know. I'm so impatient.
But I gotta show you the other ones. And here, Blitzwing.
Okay, wait, stop. So are you doing a whole box?
You got a box of goodies? I got a box right here.
Oh, cool. Okay, I just noticed that. That's what I'm saying. So you got a box of goodies. I mean, goodies. Box of goodies. Sorry.
Where's your mind at?
Man.
Okay, there's one more.
Nice.
Boom. You know what it is?
Someone with a red light on his arm.
It's Optus Pexus.
Oh. Does he have pecs?
Super cop. Yeah, he does. They're the front, like the truck pecs.
All right.
So this is basically, I think it's IDW. We talked about it I think a few episodes ago, but it's got like really rave reviews. So it's MMC masterpiece version of Orion packs.
And it's cool.
Yeah, and it's really highly reviewed. Like people have said it's probably going to be a contender for best figure of the year. So really? That's MP scale. Yeah, this is MP scale.
Okay.
And then these are both legend scales. So I think Blitzwing should go first. So,
all right. It's got a Blitzwing. Yeah,
exactly. Since I got his buddy here.
It's like the backup good cop there. You know what? Those two should do like a show on their own, eh?
Who?
Blitzwing.
Yeah. That would be good. That would be like a stoner movie, right?
Yeah.
Like sort of like, dude, where's my car? Just be like.
I will watch that. I think Adult Swim should do something.
Yeah, it should be called Runaway Train.
I like that.
That's a start. But we got to play on that, but somehow it has to also, reference this guy right here.
I'm just gonna put you on
the Blowaway Train.
I'm gonna go away. I'm gonna put my mic on mute for a second because I just gotta
Right.
I gotta yell at a few people.
Okay. You go ahead. So here we go. What are we doing here? This is totally not used to having any of this stuff for me.
All right, I'm done yelling.
All right, it's my turn.
Go ahead.
See, here's the difference. You mute your mic in order to yell. I unmute my mic in order to yell.
I just don't want to break people's eardrums in case they're wearing headphones. I'm kind.
No, it's considerate. I'm not suggesting it isn't. It's a different kind. It's because of a different audience that you have to yell at. Like you have your kids at home to yell at, and I have you on Children of Primus Live to yell at. So that's why you mute to yell, and I unmute to yell. Thunderbolt! Thunder, 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 thunderbolt!
You know what? I'm surprised they didn't paint him red.
This guy?
Yeah. If you think about it, why I'm saying that, it's because there's a Marvel character called Thunderbolt that turns into the Red Hulk.
Okay. So, do you have it? You don't have any of these Mech Fans toys, guys? Do you have a Legends collection at all?
No, you know what? I have. Unfortunately, I can't. I got kicked out of my room, so I do have Astro Train and Blitzwing, but like I have the Thrilling 30 ones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then I got the original as well too, right?
Thrilling 30, yeah, of course, yeah. The Thrilling 31 is kind of crappy, isn't he? It was cool when it came out because of the G1 homage, right? It was like cool, like they made an actual Blitzwing, but he didn't tab together very well in his torso. It was always coming apart. Was that the case with yours as well?
Well, you know what? Yeah, it kind of. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. I still have it in the box. I didn't take it out.
Oh well, that's probably best. Like because it displays good, and it plays poorly. So like if you're gonna leave some in a box, that's a good one to leave in a box.
Can you hear this in the background?
Like a tapping? I was hearing some kind of a tapping.
Yeah, tapping, and then my son's like, I don't know, he thinks he's Tarzan right now.
Yeah. I heard the call of the jungle. It's not loud though.
Okay, good.
It's not irritating on my end. So, just out of the box, first impressions, the posability on this guy is awesome. The articulation is like he's really got that action figure posability working for him here.
What's the size of that figure?
So it's a legend. It's a legend scale.
Oh, okay.
But these are all Mech Fans toys scale. So it's like Legends, sometimes referred to as Legends Plus. Meaning they're tiny, they're taller than like Legends from other companies.
Mm-hmm.
I was worried that was a break. It's not. Yeah,
I know.
Man.
I was able to say the same thing. I was going to say, watch it.
Yeah, exactly. I went silent. You know that silence.
Yeah.
Did it break something? So here's something interesting. This is actually different. The plastic feels a little bit like the Magic Square plastic, which is like a soft kind of gummy plastic.
Yeah.
As opposed to shiny.
Right.
And I usually
do you prefer that rubbery plastic, or do you like the hard plastic?
No, I like the hard plastic. Yeah. But for the first time, I'm kind of liking it on this guy. I think because he still has got a lot of times. I think they sacrifice detail with that kind of plastic too. But this guy, I don't mind that kind of plastic if they paint it, but the paint would probably flick,
It would.
right? Yeah, because if it's malleable. So generally, I don't like it, but on this guy, it's preliminarily feeling good. He's like
Just
talk about tune accuracy, right? Come on, like it's just incredible. Like you remember you remember like having your Blitzwing. This is approximately similar size to the G1, in fact, right? But you remember like having that toy and just being so irritated that like you can't bend the legs at all. You got like there's no articulation of legs whatsoever. You just got those arms that like stick
yeah,
out like that.
yeah.
So whack, like this is like, if only I could just jump in a time machine and give this to my 8-year-old self. And I'll be like, here, your dreams have been realized in the future.
Yeah, but you know what? The funny part is, how much would that cost back then?
Well, what do you like? In what way do you mean it? Like, do you mean if you took a time machine, or you mean like if you knew exactly this design, but then wanted to produce it?
Oh, like what you said, you took a time machine, you brought
Oh,
that
okay.
back, right?
Yeah.
And let's just say you gave it to Hasbro to produce it, right?
Yeah. Would they recognize
Excuse me.
the brilliance of the engineering?
Right. So how much would that cost? Because if you think about it, the Transformers that size, I think they were like around between 10 to $15.
Yeah.
And that was like, you got to remember that was pretty pricey, right? Even $25 was pretty pricey.
Right. So you're saying, but if you go back in time, you only have one of these. But you're saying if you go to Hasbro and then like, would they produce it, and what would they have to charge if they did produce it? That's what you're saying.
Like mass production, right? So they totally replaced that. The original G1 Blitzwing was that.
Right. What would the price be?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be crazy high. It would be crazy high because they don't have the manufacturing techniques. Basically, you show them this, it's a prototype, but what it is a design. You're just giving them the design in 3D, right?
Yeah.
And so they would have to manufacture it using the manufacturing tools of the period, right? And manufacturing tools are so much more advanced. So it's not just like they could make this, right? If you went back in time, like all these materials exist.
Yeah, we just got to reverse engineer it, right?
Right, but the tools are not, like the CAD programs are not there, right? If you're talking about the 80s, they don't have the CAD programs to design this stuff, right? They were making those they were actually carving those G1 figures like out of wood and plasticine and stuff, and then making molds out of them.
Yeah.
So to make all these parts and assemble them, it probably would not be a viable toy. So in other words, it'd be worth no money.
Okay, all right, sorry. I'm hearing my wife in the background. 1 second.
Yeah. Let's, of course, do an unboxing. We got to show what else he's got. He's got a sword. Got to put his hand. He's got an alternate head.
It's one of those shows. It's not just on a Transformers show. It's also a Parateen show too.
That's right, 2-in-1.
There you go. Just like the head there.
Exactly.
So, ooh, did they take that for animated?
I don't know what it's. Oh yeah, maybe it's from some fiction. Some of the fiction, something happens to him. Do you know what happens to him in animated?
Yeah, that's his face. He has like 3 faces. Is it 3? Okay. Oh, yeah, 3 faces. Yeah,
that's him. I don't know if that focused it. Oh, it's turning my eyes now.
Oh, it's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I see. Like it spins around.
Yeah. You know what? That anime show didn't get so much love. That was pretty cool.
What was it called? Transformers Animated?
Yeah. they actually took
You know what I never understood about that title is like every Transformers show is animated, except for the live action films, and they're also
correct.
animated as far as the Transformers are concerned.
You know, even thinking about it right now, yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Just,
Um, yeah, but
it's like there is no Transformers that's not animated.
yeah, um, yeah, no, but that show actually gave what's called which one was it again? Age of Extinction. Some ideas there, like was Megatron Head trying to, basically like controlling the manufacturer, or what was that company called that was creating all the Transformers or Retransformers into Galvatron and stuff like that.
Are you talking about Unicron?
No, in the
Vector
movie.
Stigma?
No,
In the
no, in the
movie?
movie. Yeah, in Age of Extinction.
Oh, sorry. Okay. And what's the question now?
Well, they took part of that show where, and like Megatron's head was like kind of controlled in the animated series. Megatron head was alive, right? And it was
Okay.
kind of controlling the factories, how new robotics were being made, and he was kind of manipulating the scientists there and to create these kind of new Transformers, right? And so
Okay.
and then building, and he was secretly building a brand new body in the background, right?
Yes.
Whereas in the movie,
wait, I thought you were talking about the movie.
No, but in the movie, I'm making the comparison because that's what I'm saying. Like that's where they got the idea from, right? So in the movie, when they had Megatron's head, he was kind of manipulating the manufacturer's machines, let's just say, to create these different kind of Transformers.
To his specs,
to his specs, right. And then he can control them afterwards, right? Because you know how they lost control of his body and then the other Transformers, right? So they took that from that movie, right? I mean, from the Transformer animated, which I thought was pretty cool.
Got you. That plot line was in Transformers anime. That's what you were saying.
Yeah.
Wait, is it anime or animated?
I think it's animated.
Yeah, okay. If it was anime, that would, that's like a genre, so that would make more sense as opposed to animated because, we're back to what I mentioned earlier. So right, what do you, when you get a new Transformer, where do you put the instructions and the accessories that you're not going to display with the figure?
Ooh, good question. So the instructions, I keep them in a Ziploc bag.
Okay. These guys are good enough to send them to you in a nice Ziploc, so I just threw the head in there.
Oh, there you go. So I do that, and then I file away in a box. And
now, when you say they're filed away in the box, are they actually filed or are they like piled?
No. I have like a Rubbermaid box, like I don't know, like almost like a letter size, right?
Yeah.
And I just throw everything in there.
Right. Now, how many boxes like that do you have?
I think 3.
Do you keep and that includes all your accessories for all your figures?
Yeah, because what I did, you see, as a kid, I actually had it's so funny. So I had an alarm clock. You know those old alarm clocks that came in a box?
I mean, I don't think
because everybody uses their phone now, right?
Yeah, but do you mean that were a box? Because I thought you meant came in a box, like they're shipped in a box. I'm like, well,
no, they're like, when you went to go buy an alarm clock, I like our younger viewers right now are like, an alarm clock, you bought that, and I'm like, what the hell is that, right?
No, but are you saying you bought it in a box, or are you saying the alarm clock is box
bought this. No, what I'm saying is that when I bought my alarm clock, right? Obviously it came in a box, right?
Okay, I know where you're going. Okay,
right,
I get it. Go on.
And it was a nice square, box,
yes.
right? It's not like today how we have like all these packages coming from Amazon, right? And so
it was special.
Exactly. So, I took out my alarm clock out of there, and I was like, wait a minute. I could put all my accessories in here, like like all the blasters, or like if my combiners, I could put like their feet and heads and all that kind of, or hands and all that kind of stuff, and I could put it all in this box, right?
Exactly. Yep.
And I had this box, I mean, like for the longest. I mean, like forever. And when I moved to my new, like where I live now, right? Like when I did that move, I lost a couple of boxes in that move. And again, in that move, there were some Transformer figures that I had plus that box. So I lost a lot of G1 original blasters, hands, heads, and stuff like that, right? Like, for example, like the Optimus Prime that I have, I'm missing his hands. That was in that box, right? So that's why I was like kind of bitching in our last show about, buying hands that cost like $25 each. Does that make sense? Oh, I'm on mute. Oh, D's on mute. We good.
But I'm here, so.
Hey, what's happening, buddy?
Hey, not too much. How you doing?
Good. Were you able to hear what I was saying?
No, I literally just got here.
Oh, okay. So D had asked me a question about, where I keep my accessories, like, and my instructions and stuff like that, right, for the Transformer fingers. And I was telling him,
and he said that you stole all the fucking shit.
Yeah.
Me personally.
And you sold it on a website.
Yeah.
That was like a Kijiji for Transformers of all places. That's what he said you did.
Yeah.
Now, how do you respond to said allegations?
Well,
I'm gonna hold on, Ants, before you answer. I'll be right back because I got to take care of a couple of allegations that are happening upstairs right now. Hold on.
I thought that was just for ambiance.
I was gonna say, well, gee, I don't know if I really hope that nobody.
That was really weird. I was like, what? You have a feather and you're rubbing your face? What are you doing?
This is a cat's tail.
Literally. Or was it a quill? I was like, is that a quill pen? You're like rolling across? Oh, that's your cat tail.
No, they just rocketed across my lap. What I was going to say was, I don't know, but I hope nobody checks childrenofprimus.com to see if I might have potentially sold a whole pile of accessories on there that belong to somebody else.
Dirt cheap.
Yeah, exactly. Dirt cheap. I was going to say, I keep my stuff in a Ziploc bag. Like this is just for the stuff that's on and around my desk. And I have a few of these.
Mm-hmm. So to what level of organization do you have it? Like, so the bag you just showed, that's not for one character or a set of characters. Or
no, this is specifically for this is just for the stuff that I have like out on my desk. Like each area of my shelves gets a bag, basically.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then so the bag goes back when you switch out what's on your desk, you're switching out a different bag.
Yeah, basically. Like I got a generic accessory bag down in my closet for the stuff that's not like within arm's reach, and I have a separate bag that's just all my instructions. And this is a reason, and for these pragmatic reasons, I really appreciate any time a figure has integrated accessory storage, because that means I don't even have to worry about keeping it in a bag. It just goes on the figure.
You ever had any major losses in your collection, the way Orlati just mentioned?
Nothing major, but there's one that bothers me. I have a Masterpiece G2 Bumblebee.
I'm back.
So this comes off, and there's supposed to be a tiny black license plate that fits in here when the tire's not here. Don't know where that went. Searched everywhere. Probably fell out of a bag and just, puffed into thin air because it's like the size of a speck of dirt.
Which Bumblebee is that?
Masterpiece Generation 2 Bumblebee.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's the only time I can think of in my grown collector life where I've lost a thing.
Which is a gold bug? That's pretty good. You've grown collector life. Okay, you just mean a thing related to collecting, not.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you meant like I've never lost anything.
Yeah. I'm sure
since as an adult.
Yeah. I'm sure I've lost tons of things as a kid, but I can't remember offhand. Oh, you know what?
Oh, I can. Because that was damaging. Like, when you realized like you lost one of Optimus Prime's fists and you're not getting it back.
Oh God, yeah.
Like, because it's all these times where you lost it and you found it again, But then that one time where it's just like it's taken too long for this other fist to show up. This is how this guy's going to be for history.
Yeah. Well, my worst accessory loss as a kid was not actually a Transformers thing. It was a Star Wars thing. I got into collecting Star Wars figures, and my first two were Luke and Vader. Not these ones, but like as an example. And I lost both their lightsabers.
Oh,
Yeah, and
yeah.
my parents weren't about to like get me doubles so I could get lightsabers back. So I just
Mhm.
as a kid, it just like turned me off getting Star Wars figures because my main guys didn't have their like main things.
Yeah, that'd be brutal.
Yeah, I still remember that. that's the worst case of me losing a thing I can think of.
Do you remember? Okay, do you remember breaking? Like, everybody's broke some toys, but do you remember as a kid, like when you broke one of your toys and it was like traumatic?
Oh, I suffered from that thing that every Beast Wars collector knows. Transmetal Megatron. He had like GPS real bad, so his waist just breaks in half, and I had that happen to me.
GPS?
Gold plastic syndrome. Um,
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah, it's like destined to self-destruct just because of some of the materials they made it out of. It happened to me, same as it happened to thousands of other people. And it was a Beast Wars Megatron. It was a Transmetal. It was real cool. And then it just a couple years later, just snapped.
So, was this a known issue to you when it happened, or did you find out?
Yeah, I was just a kid, right? I wasn't like on the collector transformer internet. I don't even know if the term GPS had been coined yet, but like, years later I heard about it,
So it gave you some consolation that it wasn't just you. So you suffered this trauma as a kid, like you broke this thing. What is wrong with you? You're a failure. You didn't deserve this toy in the first place. This golden shiny monkey, the shiniest, goldiest monkey of all, and you killed it, right?
Well, it was a golden T-Rex, but yeah.
No,
years later,
Anthony.
It's your years fault. Later, you find out it's not your fault. It was the designer, it was the plastic, it was all this stuff, and that
you're hoodwinked.
That weight is lifted off your shoulders.
Yeah, as a point of trivia, people always really want the Takara version of that figure because they didn't know either because this wasn't a known issue at the time. They happened to make the colors a little bit different, so the Takara version doesn't have gold plastic syndrome, so it won't break apart.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the only major breakage I can think of. Oh, you know what? I had this ain't the original, but I had the vintage Optimal Optimus back in the day, right? This is the new version. It's not the old one, but he had 4 missiles and that were designed to work with his light up function. But because of that, the 4 missiles that he came with were clear, like 100%. They weren't colored in at all. They were just like transparent. So naturally, I gradually lost those pretty quickly because they're just like, you can't see them as soon as they go flying. It wasn't a figure killer because like even the new one doesn't even come with them because it doesn't need them visually, but it still just thought
what figure is that? The one that you're holding up there?
This is Power of the Primes Optimal Optimus. This okay. I'm talking about the vintage 97, 98 one.
Mm-hmm. But that one you're holding is a good one, is it not?
Oh yeah. It's one of my favorites. It's
is that the one that came with the throne?
They did a version of it that came with the throne. The version of the one that came with the throne is like a black and gray, whereas this is like
that's right.
All his original colors. Yeah, but yeah, the original came with clear missiles, and good luck hanging on to those. Good luck finding one out of the box that comes with them, because as soon as those things fly off into a corner, they're just invisible. Yeah.
No, I busted my my Jetfire.
Oh, that sounds terrible. That sounds like a traumatic incident.
It was, but then I had to get it was on a shelf. Yeah. I think I slammed the door.
Yeah.
And it fell. And it broke his right arm? No, his left arm. I don't know. His left arm, one of the arms, right?
Yeah.
And so I had to get glue that arm on. So now it just does this. Right?
partial functionality. I was gonna say I don't have a lot of them now because I think I've sold most of them over the years. But a lot of the like first couple of years, the Diaclone G1 stuff, all the ones I've handled, that stuff was not made to last. A lot of it's like real fragile feeling. Like a lot of the Autobot cars, like like your Jazzes and your Prowls and stuff. Like between their little doors and their tiny metal joints, like those guys are fragile.
Well, look at Wheeljacks. Like
you're talking about like models from the 80s, right? You're talking about reissues. Yeah. So do you think that it's the model itself, or do you think they made them with less durable materials this time around?
No. I know it's a problem with vintage figures because like a lot of like Mirage, who never gets reissued, supposedly had an issue where his waist breaks really easily, so it's hard to find one with
trauma that you gave me that trauma. Yeah, that risk. Yeah, that waist break. It's like when that happened to me, I was so upset. I remember that.
Yeah. Sometimes people don't like when they moved on from Diaclone, but like all the 86 and later guys I've handled, like Hot Rod, Six Shot, those guys, they once they stopped reissuing Diaclones, they started making these guys out of like more durable feeling stuff. So I feel like outside of GPS, breakages were probably less common, but I can't prove that.
But look at how much simpler that mold is, right? Like
that is true. That's
what I really hated about, especially Rodimus Prime, is that like he's so like there's no reason that his knees couldn't bend.
Yeah,
it's not like there was a limitation with engineering. They were just being cheap.
Yeah, they were just trying to make him like wall throwable.
No, the only thing
that's a good point. It does make it more durable. So if you're targeting a younger audience, that's logical. Sorry, Mike.
The only thing that I don't like about the G1 figures is like those little tiny accessories. Like for example, like Wheeljack, those two little clear plastic wings that he had behind him.
Yeah,
all those things like both of them broke on me.
Yeah. Or speaking of breakages and losses, G1 Seekers, where they pretty much entirely just were like a construction toy. You just take them apart and put them together differently and try not to lose every single thing.
Did you do that? I never. Wait, no, maybe I did take the Seekers apart. Yeah. You unscrew them right in their nipples, right?
No, their wings came off. Their hands came off. Their wings came off.
Oh, I thought he was talking about actually taking them apart. You're just talking about rearranging the accessories.
My Dirge came with my Dirge, like the two hands that it actually came with two right hands.
That's annoying.
Rare variant.
And that screwed me up, man, because like, did I do something wrong here?
The playability of those Seekers with all the different configurations you can do with the wings was really cool. That added a lot to it, especially considering the lack of articulation.
Well, since we're talking about Seekers, I guess we got to mention Thrust.
I think you just did a moment ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
the Thrust thing.
Yeah. He's one where I remember handling a copy of him at my babysitter's house, but he had absolutely no accessories, as you would expect from a toy delivered to you that way.
Did I have a G1 Thrust? No, I didn't. I had George, I had Ramjet, but I was missing Thrust. And then I got him after many, many, many years later in the Generation line.
Like an Encore, or you mean like the new Generation model?
The new Generation model.
So you never got a G1 Thrust?
No.
And he got reissued, right? I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I was actually trying to find an original one just to kind of complete the set, right? But it is what it is. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I was just did a quick experiment to check, and I'm like, yeah, I'd heard this, but I can confirm. If you want, you can take Optimus's easily losable fists and stick them in the little cockpit here.
Oh yeah, we all did that.
So I have a matrix that clips in there, so I tend to put that in there instead.
First thing to get lost out of a Optimus Prime set is that hose.
Oh yeah. I just looked over at my trailer and I'm like, do I have okay, it's plugged in.
The hose? Nice.
Yeah.
The hose goes first. That's how it always goes. Just so you knows.
Come on, bros. So do we like start getting on topic, or do we wait until like Spin gets on?
I think we should just. I think we should like. I mean, we should do. I think we should wait for him for the topics, and we should talk about other stuff that we want to talk about until then.
Okay. Because
he has a particular, layout that he wants to do with the.
No, and I agree, because I know we talked about from last week our soundtrack. Did you guys do your homework?
Oh, I was gonna say I said last week I have a wedding I'm going to tomorrow. I had no time this week to put that together. That's why I assigned it to y'all instead of me.
He did say that.
Yeah,
I can confirm he said that.
You have a wedding to go to tomorrow on a Monday?
Yeah.
Really?
I know, weird.
Wow.
It's a date of significance to my friends that are getting married. So
no, I get it, because I was talking to a neighbor and they were telling me there's a lot of weddings that are being, I guess, made up for the pandemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so there's been like some weddings on a Wednesday, on a Thursday, and stuff like that. So I was like, wow, even on a Monday too now.
Just means I get to take 2 days off of work.
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah, I've been knee deep in that all week. So like, I knew that was going to happen. So that's why I was last week. I was like, this is everyone else's homework. I don't have the mental bandwidth.
Did you do your list?
My list was completed the day of. It's just in the comments.
Oh my goodness. Am I the only one that did their homework?
First time in history it's solved.
Holy. I know that's true, AD.
Yeah. Well, I think you should do the honors and give us your list.
No, hold on. We gotta wait for Spin and see if he did his list.
Somehow I doubt it. I think the joke was on you. I think basically, you're the one who did it. So you're gonna read us your list, and then when Spin comes on, we're gonna go into this new segment. So let's do the list now.
Okay. All right. So I had 16.
Ooh, 16.
Yeah, but I was
you
like,
did extra.
I know.
You even did extra because we only needed 14.
Yeah, like a bonus track.
Yeah.
So I got Coolio, Fantastic Voyage.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I got Beck, Loser. And I
can see a montage to that.
Yeah, I got Tag Team Whoop, there it is.
God.
And
that'd
then
be very this is what year it is.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It has to be a little fun, right?
Yeah.
But don't worry, I'll get to the Brooklyn side of things, right?
No, sleep though. No, that wasn't out yet. 84. Oh no, 94.
It was out.
Yeah. But that was the year they did Pass the Mic.
They did 80. That was on 83. The 84, 83.
What was?
No Sleep to Brooklyn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
86, 87.
Okay.
Not 80.
So then I got 4 non-blondes. What's Up? Then here we go. Now we're going into a little bit of the Brooklyn hip hop kind of scene a little bit. I got Cypress Hill, Insane in the Main Brain.
Nice.
Then I got Onyx Slam.
Nice.
Right. And then we got obviously Beastie Boys, No Sleep Till Brooklyn. Then I got another Beastie Boy because I love Beastie Boys. What's it called? Sabotage.
Ooh, that would be
Then
good to stick in a Transformers film.
No, that's I may have said that one actually in the comments last week.
Okay. Then I got Diggable Planet.
That came out that year, right?
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
It came out at 84. So I got
94,
sorry.
Yeah.
Then I got Diggable Planet, Rebirth of Slick. Cool like that. And then I got Daz Effect. They Want FX.
Mm-hmm.
Then I did Bismarcky, Just a Friend.
Oh, poor Bismarcky.
Yeah. Then I got House of Pain, Jump Around.
Oh yeah. You have to include that. It's 94.
Yeah. Then I got Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit, because they're all teens, right? So.
Yep.
Then
That's
this
the same
one,
year too.
yep.
Man, a lot of shit came out in '94.
And then I got one here for what's called for Anthony, because he's a Beast War fan.
Yeah.
So I'll put Galwin, You're a Strange Animal.
Oh, that would be great as an intro.
Right.
What about
So
no, you didn't think about Metallica Neverland?
No. Because I was going to base a little bit on the theme, right? Like, it was in Brooklyn, there probably some other places, and you got teens. You got to put like a little bit of alternative as well too, right?
Well, yeah, the alternative is what made me think of Metallica.
No, Metallica was rock, like heavy metal at that time.
Yeah, okay, but you meant like if you played Sabotage and you played Neverland, they work together.
Yeah, I get that. But I'm trying to go with the theme, right?
You don't see the theme in in that song?
No.
How does the chorus go?
Hold on. I see the theme like when you're playing at a club, but not in a movie.
Okay.
And then I got so we said we were gonna do a Canadian context to it. We had to add it because we were a YouTube.
Oh yeah,
channel.
right. Canadian context.
Yeah. So I got OR.
Check the OR. I knew you were gonna pick. I knew it.
That, or it was either that or
I knew it.
Or Dream Warriors. You wash your face in my sink. It was one of those two. Because they both played Jane and Finch locations. So I had to it was either one of those two.
Cool.
So that's my track.
You should save this list, and D should save his list, and remember to come back in 2022 and see if we were remotely accurate, because that's a good list. That sounds like that. A lot of that sounds like plausible if they,
His was much more plausible than mine. In fact,
yeah.
But mine is doper.
Well, hey, hold on. If we're gonna do
no, it's a different thing. It's a different thing. We win different categories.
No, I get that. But my whole thing is I was trying to go with the theme of the movie and stuff like that. But if we're gonna do
no, I did no. Mine was all theme of the movie too. It's just there's more underground stuff, whereas you put in more poppy stuff.
Yeah. Right. That's okay. Oh, here we go.
Now I want to hear them play.
Somebody
Sabotage.
doesn't think something is okay.
No, that's my daughter again. Well, parenting 101. Hey, we got Bill. What does Bill say?
Ooh, that's a near miss. 70 foot long tree limb, 12 inches thick, landed on my house, busted a hole in the roof, lots of water damage. Just glad I didn't have the room set up, as the area that got wet is where my sealed boxes would have been. Oh, man.
Damn. When did this happen?
That's what she said.
I'm just like,
I'll just throw that in there. 12 inch, big hole, water gushing.
Did you just say this just happened to Bill this week?
Yeah.
Oh man, that sucks.
I know,
But I've had spare boxes get ruined, but I don't try and keep things sealed. So having sealed boxes ruined would just instantly that's bad luck.
So it happened last Thursday. Damn. That's why you got to keep those boxes in those Rubbermaids, right? Because at least when you hear that click, if there's any water around, you'll be okay.
Yeah. But you got to get good quality ones too. Sometimes those things can leak.
Yeah. Or
so I guess
if it got crushed.
Yeah. I get the ones that have the little foam lining and that click tight on all sides.
Yeah, I know, because I got the blue ones. It doesn't matter what color it is, right? But I have these blue ones, the rubber mix, and as soon as I hear that click, then I go to bed, with peace of mind.
Yeah.
This episode was sponsored by Rubbermaid.
Exactly.
I use Rubbermaid totes whenever I bring my stuff to toy conventions to unpack it.
Yo, we should do some skits. just do some skits like that and pitch them. We'll pitch them.
Whether it's filling up my toy chest.
Yeah.
Y'all ever heard the story of Optimotimus and his failed Coca-Cola ads?
No. What?
It's the strangest thing. So, like around 2011 or so, that YouTube reviewer there, Optimotimus, decided that he wanted to get sponsored by Coke, and his idea
that'd be a big sponsorship.
Yeah. His idea of it was just to, without being asked to, roll ads that he made himself for Coke at the start of some of his videos. The thinking being that...
And they got sued?
No, it just never happened. But it's backwards thinking that if he ran ads, they'd eventually sponsor him. And it didn't happen. And it was like, it became like a meme for a while because when
you say if he ran ads, do you mean like he made his own ads?
Yes, he made his own commercials for Coke, like totally earnestly, without a hint of irony at the start of some videos.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah, and they just began with whether it's filling up my cup. So that was like a meme for a while.
Okay.
He's like, whether it's filling up my cup or doing this or editing reviews or going to a deli, I'm always drinking Coke. Yeah.
It might have been true. It might have been true.
Hold on. Yeah. While he displayed his Pepsi Optimus Prime truck there, right?
Surprisingly, wrong brand, right?
Dummy.
Yeah, so I'm like, film Rubbermaid has, but like make it like that. Whether it's filling up my bin for a toy show.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Or wait a minute, or for those cheap bastards that rummage through the bins at a toy store looking for a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm one of those guys, so I can say that.
You get some of your best deals that way when you're at a convention,
Yep.
You go, it's like going dumpster diving, but like better because there's actual good things there most of the time.
Exactly. Oh, what's that, D?
Oh, how meta.
Inception.
Yeah. Just waiting for that to kick in. It's a little bit of a delay. There you go.
That's fire.
Mm-hmm.
Optimus Prime fire.
Hold on, is that a tablet or like what is that?
Surface Pro.
Oh, nice. Look at that handsome guy there.
And we've got a nice kitten in the background.
So, do we all own cats?
I got 2, and D's got 1. Do you have any?
The spin. I mean, obviously, he does based on the question.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he wants to know if he has cats. And
I have a cat.
This is his subtle way of asking if we know something about his wife. She didn't tell him.
I got a cat. I got a dog and a fish and 2 kids.
Only one fish?
One fish.
It seems somewhat out of balance.
You know what? It's lasted so far for like almost 2 years now. So
yeah,
give me some kudos there.
Like I get like 1 cat and 1 dog, but fish usually you have at least 2.
No, they're betta fish. These things will attack each other.
Okay, yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Oh, Bill has. Where's the bill?
I have 2.
I'm not used to this, Bill. I'm not used to this. So.
Oh, nice. Zero and Panthro. Panthro. I love it. What is the zero? What is the zero reference to?
Or maybe it's just a name for its own sake.
Yeah. Right.
There you go. Panthro. All right. How's everybody weekend so far?
Busy because I got that
I want to get to the news, man, but I'm waiting for
Yeah.
Spin because I heard there's like these new Transformer figures that are coming out.
Spin's got the.
There's a couple of cats in there.
He said he's got the slideshow already.
The
Yes.
slideshow? Okay, because
I wanna
there's a
see
couple
if-
of cats and bats that came out or are coming out.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the Dracula.
Oh, you just spoiled that one there, D.
Oh, I didn't. Well, I didn't. You told. You're the one who now said that it was a spoiler. I could have just been guessing wrong.
Okay, you're wrong. Sure.
Zero
Okay.
colors.
My kids were young.
That's cute.
Colors. Nice. Is that Spin? Spin's coming on. And there he is.
All right. Oh, for like a half second.
And there he is.
There we go.
Never am.
You like showed up and vanished. You were like,
That I guess that was me because I was clicking him on while he was clicking him on. We're just clicking each other off, I guess. I don't know.
Spin
Okay,
said,
Mike, please take over the
There I
IT
am.
because I try to do my best here.
you were doing pretty
and
good.
it was
Moment,
honestly was terrible. It's really bad. Everybody was very upset.
There we go. So yes, I've been hearing the madness of you guys. Actually, can you guys hear me okay?
Oh,
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
We hear you.
Loud and clear.
You know, one of those weeks I wanted to get a whole different mic set up and everything, but you know, it just said not today. So I'm not gonna fight with it.
You can't fight fate.
You know, so let's see. So yes, hello to Bill and yeah, and I heard the kind of reading the unfortunate news there.
That sucks, man. So sorry to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you had good
And he had been
insurance.
sending, like, I don't know if you guys saw, he was also posting some pictures of, like, you know, getting stuff together. So he was like, you know,
Oh, okay.
in the middle of, like, setting stuff up, all of a sudden you have a disaster like that. That's pretty disheartening. But on the other hand, it's better, like, as he mentioned, it's better than your stuff all being there and then getting messed up.
True.
So.
Okay,
All
Mike,
right.
we're waiting for you. You're like the
waiting
missing link. Yeah, because we had like
Missing
we're.
link.
Oh, hold on. Before we start,
Mm-hmm.
you have your list. Did you do your homework?
I heard you guys, and D was correct. I didn't do my homework. It's
Mike's
been
the
one of
only-
those weeks.
The professor always knows.
But you know what? It's one of those topics that could easily freestyle it when, considering the time frame, that was the height of of hip hop for us.
It was all downhill from there.
Do you know how many hip hop songs I want to pick, and I'm like trying to stick into the movie theme because there was other music Sandra was bursting out at the same time too, right? So you had to add a couple of those songs, right?
Mhm.
I'm like, no, I want to add this. No, I want to. Oh no.
Well, the one thing well, I remember mentioning last week, but I don't think I didn't hear you guys mention this week was Busta Rhymes. Like for sure, you have to have a Busta Rhymes in there.
Well, I was thinking of Leader in Youth School, right? Like Bono's this, Bono's that, but Bono's Jack when it comes to like I was thinking about that one.
Yep.
Scenario.
Yep.
Maybe it's just because it got used so much in the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies. But as soon as Orlotti said "Sabotage" by the Beastie Boys, I'm like,
Yes.
oh, you could choreograph a great Transformers action sequence to that. You know,
Oh, yeah. That song was just one of the greatest songs of that year.
it was pre-designed to be used in a film when things go horribly explosively sideways.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And if it weren't for the fact of their other songs coming out a few years later, like their newer stuff would easily fit into a Transformers movie. The Intergalactic.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I think they would have been the Linkin Park,
Mhm.
right? Or Imagine Dragon, one or the other. Oh, Bill's saying something here. The adjuster won't even be here until next week. Until next Sunday. Oh man, that's shit.
Wow.
Am I hearing somebody doing some hammering too now?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff happening
Yeah, I
in the
know.
background.
I got my kids yelling and screaming. You got me yelling and screaming.
Yep.
Then you got my kids yelling and screaming, and then me again yelling and screaming.
Well, let me get all the news links reopened here.
Yeah.
We'll quickly catch up on news, and then jump into our main topic for the evening.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I didn't bore anybody during my whole
God,
7 minutes there. I tried.
Is it supposed to be mellow anyway? Isn't that the point?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, today's gonna be mellow. I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
It's for me today is instead of pizza, transformer and pizza. Today's transformer and beers and potato chips.
It's the manly version.
Yeah.
So let's go with the first topic. And let me just get it here. So the bot reviews for this week, Anthony did. The bot reviews Transformers Vintage Beast Wars Rat Trap versus Kingdom Rat Trap.
Yeah.
What can you give us a quick rundown on that?
Yeah, I was just using the pictures of Hot Rod as an example of an obvious update versus a non-obvious update. Yeah,
right.
Because I'm like old Hot Rod has charm, but you can definitely see what the Studio Series one's doing instead.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas it's not quite as cut and dry with the vintage one that they just re-released, because it actually has a lot of the same good quality points as the Kingdom one, and it's just as articulated. And it comes with a good gimmick. So I when I actually compared them side to side, I came to the conclusion that I think the vintage one might actually be a better figure than the Kingdom one. If you break it down point for point, though the Kingdom one has the advantage of being much more easily available right now.
So for the Hot Rod or for Rat Trap?
For Rat Trap.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just using Hot Rod as a quick example.
Right.
But yeah, I took a bunch of photos, and then once I was done that, I did the point-by-point comparison. I did give the rat mode to the Kingdom one. I was like, that's got a better rat mode. But the other stuff, Vintage has that lovely spring-loaded transformation that the new one doesn't, where it's just like a really effective one-step changer.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's got like a little hidden weapon, and it's got almost the exact same points of articulation. And I don't want to discourage people from reading the actual article to learn a little bit more, but
yes, definitely. A bit more. Go to childrenofprimus.com news and reviews, and let's go to another article. There we go. The Retro Bot reviews Transformers Siege Fan 3 pack.
Oh yeah, my other bit of writing. This is my look back at something a bit older. This came out in 2019, and it had the Decepticon version of Impactor, the clear version of Mirage, and one of the Power Dashers. And I popped it back up again because I was still impressed by it in 2019 and wanted to have a look back. Mirage in particular, he was the one in the set that when I was getting it, I was least interested in, but he wound up really impressing me because he's actually a clear figure that doesn't feel fragile like they usually do.
Interesting.
Yeah. They actually they did things like make his joints out of opaque plastic so that he wouldn't be breakable easily, and just really nicely engineered idea.
Yeah, and you could see, exactly what you're saying. I mean, surprisingly how see-through it is, but then also with the joints, you could tell the quality was put into that.
Yeah, they put some thought into making sure that it wouldn't crumble to pieces because of what it's made out of.
Right.
I actually like what they did with the blaster.
Yeah,
it was also see-through too, right? So when you put that figure next to like a solid Mirage, right? You could do that, that okay, now I'm invincible kind of thing, right? So
Yeah.
I really like how they did that.
Yeah, and if you keep going, I talk about the other two figures too, Impactor and Power Dasher. Yeah, and this was the version of Impactor that everybody wanted because even though he's a Decepticon for some reason, he's got a unique head based on his appearance in like Last Stand of the Wreckers and stuff. So this guy was like in demand.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's still probably one of the strongest Siege Deluxes they did because this was a fan vote winner. So whenever they do that, it always feels like they put extra effort into them.
Nice.
See, this is what I don't understand. Okay, I like this figure; it's really nice, and it goes great with the whole Wrecker theme, right? Because
I even took a shot of them later.
Right. I'm still waiting for the Justice, like the Hasbro version of the Decepticon Justice League.
Yeah, I'm surprised because one of them even appeared in Cyberverse, the TV show.
Yeah.
So if he made the jump to TV, you'd think that they'd get a figure coming.
Yeah.
Tarn, the leader, he appeared on Cyberverse, sort of, but not as Tarn. But it was like Megatron used the Allspark to create like the ultimate Decepticons, and they all looked like Tarn from More Than Meets the Eye.
Right. Because that'd be like a good rival group to this group, right? To the Wreckers, right?
Yeah, it seems like a natural fit.
Yeah.
That's the third Power Dasher, Aragon. Like the books about the kid with the dragons. And yeah, you just break them up into weapons, give them to the two guys. Yeah, and the curious thing that I found when reviewing the set is it's still available on like Canadian Amazon. Like you can still just go and get it. Like they still got new packs of it, not like marked up after the fact.
Nice.
So like I think it's still relevant in 2019, and it's still probably one of the more fun sets to come out of Siege.
Okay.
This guy's a weirdo. Like they gave him this. He looks like an older tin toy kind of robot just because of the head and colors.
Yeah, but if you look at the head, but look at that head. That's a Stractus head there. Darth what is it, Strassix or what's his what's the other? Well, he goes by another name too, right?
Dark
Mount. That's it.
Yeah.
But that fully does have the look of like early 80s an early 80s robot. And it's funny, in one group everyone was making fun of GoBots once again, and half of us are like, well, before we even knew of Transformers, there were GoBots and a whole ton of transforming robots that were just toys that transformed. Like we didn't even say they were transforming. You just changed them from one mode to the other.
Yeah, converters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all three of the Power Dashers, because this guy, the other two were available separately. They all got that retro look to them, like on purpose. They between the new faces and the colors they gave them. It's a really interesting set of like extremely retro looking robots. And I always pair them with Star Convoy because they kind of have the same kind of lineage as him.
Right.
Well, it's funny because earlier in our conversation with D, he showed me the Blitzwings that he got, like those third party ones.
Yeah.
With Satan, and he was like, "Man, these are really good, well designed and all that." And he goes, "Like this is like almost the same size as the G1 Blitzwing." He goes, "Imagine I can go back in time and give myself that toy. Oh my god, how great that would be, right?" And so, one of the questions that I asked him, right, I go, "How much do you think that Blitzwing will cost back then?" So you're just talking about like all the retro looking Transformers that you're on your review there.
How much would it be worth?
How much would it be worth? Yeah.
The answer is it would be cheap as heck because 1980s dollars, 1970s dollars.
See, we got a different. We came up with a different answer.
Interesting.
Shit. What do we say, D?
Well, I'll let you break it down. I'll let you let them in on the genius discovery that we made.
Well, we said that the material was there to be made, right? But the actual tools to make that particular figure were not there, right? Because they haven't made that technology yet of creating figures to transform that, right? And so because they have to recreate that whole tool, or the whole, what was the word they use, the cast, I guess, tool cast or die cast, in order to make
the mold,
yeah.
Yeah.
Then what's going to end up happening, because it's going to cost so much to make all that, or like to remake all that again. These
basically
figures
have to. They wouldn't just have to make it all. See, they'd have to invent
the tool.
it.
Yeah, they have to
They have
invent
to invent those tools, right?
Yeah,
That because
die cast tools.
The CAD doesn't exist.
Yeah.
The all the different kinds of plastics that we have today, don't exist.
Well, that's when you bring in what was his rank? Barkley from Next Generation.
Lieutenant
Barkley, the episode where he took the Enterprise to the furthest reaches of the universe, and told the computer, I need this tool, and like, this doesn't exist. Well, I'll tell you how to build it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you would have to do.
Yeah,
you have to go back not only with the toy, but with the knowledge of like how this was made.
But that's exactly it. So they're like, we created this in the future, and you're like, yeah, I'll tell you how you created it in the future.
Yeah, but if we didn't do that with that toy, how much do you think that toy will cost?
But then here's the other issue. If we go back in time, teach them how to create today's toy back then what would exist today?
Ooh. And who's to say we didn't do that already, and that's how we got such a great Blitzwing.
But now, there you go.
Here's actually my favorite Blitzwing. This is my favorite Blitzwing here.
Which one's that? Oh, that's a big one. Is that the KFC one, maybe?
That's finger looking good.
Yes, it's Gewalt.
Yeah.
KFC.
I'm sorry. Every time I hear KFC, it's
I know it's finger looking good.
Yeah. They should have picked some other letters.
That's what I always used to think. Like, I would always say that, but no, this is not. It's not KFC. It's DX9.
Okay.
But I always say that about KFC. But like, I've actually now started to, like, when I hear KFC, like, I don't think of chicken. Like, now I think of, But it's taken me years of collecting Masterpiece. There's Motormaster. That's KFC Motormaster over there. Looking at me. XTB
hauling in a bucket of chicken.
Some of that grease.
I was like, nobody had told him? Like, what the hell? KFC.
So, Anthony, do you know of the Kingdom Red Alert?
Oh, yeah. You can get them at EB Games in Canada if you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen them a couple times. I'm not super interested in Red Alert, though I'm getting because this is the Earth mode version now, because they're taking the Siege figures and making them Earth-like. I got the Sideswipe on the way, though, eventually, mostly because he comes with Grimlock, the Beast Wars Grimlock.
So can I ask you a question, Anthony?
Yeah.
So the past couple of episodes, you've been mentioning EB Games.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So are you trying to say, like, you can get better figures at EB Games versus Toys R Us? Let's just say.
It depends. I found that, well, first of all, EB Games gets it. Well, it's GameStop now. They just changed the name like a couple weeks ago, straight up to the American one. But that's going to take me some time to get used to that. Like, this is very recent. They get their own batch of exclusives, like Red Alert's an EB Games exclusive because he's a Target exclusive in the US. You're not going to see him at Toys R Us. But I will say, EB Games get stuff before most other places, but because they're like a small store, like operations-wise, especially when it comes to merchandise, because they do games mostly, they'll get things early, but they won't get a lot of it. So they'll appear like months or weeks before other places, but then they're there and gone. Whereas something like Toys R Us, stuff shows up later, but like it's way more reliable. You can find way more stuff there.
Okay, so could you also order online?
Mm-hmm.
That particular figure. Let's just say, like, do they have stuff online?
Yeah. I got pre-orders through them and everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I found that they have a very good, reliable system of pre-orders compared to like Toys R Us or Walmart.
Okay.
Just give me 5 seconds. I gotta take a pizza out of the oven.
Now we're going back to Transformer and a pizza.
Transformer and a pizza.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Bill has a couple of comments, but I'll wait for Anthony to come back. I know he'll be the best to answer them.
Because I was doing Transformer beer and potato chips.
You know, too much beer and you'll end up with an interesting Transformers episode.
That's the whole point, no?
Yeah, I already ate mine. I was pulling it out of the oven for Jess because her nails were polished, so she was like, "I can't get my
for
pizza
tomorrow.
out the oven."
That's right. For tomorrow. Tomorrow's
Yeah,
wedding.
for the wedding tomorrow.
Yeah.
I apologize.
No, it's okay.
It's okay.
Just let them know that I got my nails painted earlier today, but the lady did a shit job, and then I went to work and it chipped off, so now I have to paint them again after spending like $30-something.
These are our struggles.
I've heard of such things with nail salons. It's you know, they give you whatever, you complain, and it's like, no, you just pay again and do it again. I'm like, but you didn't do it right the first time.
And that was our murder prime of the moment.
Yeah, she was just like, I could understand the sentiment because she was just like, "Oh, to hell with this! I'll do it myself." You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There you go.
You know, that is
That's
the
our murder
basis
prime
of
segment.
you know, a lot of people just doing their own thing. And I'm like, you know, I could either hire someone to come in, mess it up, or, you know, possibly do it professionally, or I could do it for myself for like, you know, 90% less than whatever they're charging.
And the best part is, if you mess it up, it's okay.
It's true. Yep.
All right.
So Bill had a couple of comments. He said, I'm hunting for Red Alert. We're hard. No luck so far. And he also said, I thought Red was a Walgreens exclusive.
Yes, Walgreens. That's what I meant. Yeah, it's one of the places we don't get. Like, yeah, okay. The way it works.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
Yeah.
And he had chili dogs.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll get
I was gonna say, yeah. So I got them mixed up. Walgreens exclusives that in the U.S. GameSpot gets them here. GameStop, EB Games, whatever the game place.
Yep.
Yeah. If they're Walgreens exclusive in the U.S., that game place gets them here. And if they're Target exclusive in the U.S., like T-Rex, Toys R Us gets them here.
Okay.
It's like a really specific pipeline. Yeah. Yeah.
What happened to Costco exclusives?
I don't know. I miss those because you'd get like a figure that was like you get these big multi packs of like 3-4 figures, and they'd be for like really cheap compared to what's in there. And
Yeah.
got to bring those back.
Yeah, Costco.
Yeah. What the hell?
And Bill also said we had chili dogs.
Yeah.
See? Transformers and chili dogs. I'm telling you, we gotta do a food show, man.
Yeah, just straight up. I'll make chili. Jess will make pizza.
Yeah. And we'll pair it up with a nice Transformer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wine and wobots.
Yeah.
You just say what?
Elmer Fudd.
Oh, TF-Saurus, what do we got here now?
All right. So let's see. So courtesy of Cybertron, we have the TF-Saurus Earthrise Scorponok restock.
If anybody was still looking for those guys.
Mm. Yeah, let's see. What did they say? So new pre-orders on. Actually, they have a list of things for the pre-orders. So that is courtesy of Cybertron.com, and you can also find out on childrenofprimus.com.
Yeah.
And let's see. And what else do we have for this week?
Oh yeah, they're making yet another third-party Springer.
How many third-party Springers are there?
I know, eh?
There's a real hunger there for a masterpiece version.
Okay. MS-29 Fall Kit.
Unlike the blueprint exists for an official one. They made a Siege Springer, and it turned out well enough that they could just blow that up and use it as the template for a masterpiece.
Wow.
Yeah, but they also made a Thrilling 30 Springer as well too.
Yeah, but the Thrilling 30 Springer is based on his IDW Comics version, whereas the Siege Springer is Super G1, which is what Masterpiece is all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at this guy, and I'm like, oh hey, it's like the one I got, only a little bit more cartoonified.
Because I actually like the Thrilling one, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I still have him because
yeah.
he goes with my IDW people. Bill Glenn, I have won the Ohio River Arts Festival barbecue competition 4 years in a row, 1991 to 1994. Oof.
So now we know if we got to do a barbecue.
If we got to do a barbecue episode,
we call Bill.
Call Bill.
Yeah.
Or one day when we all travel down to Bill's neck of the woods.
Yeah.
We'll get some barbecue.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this is the template here. Blow this guy up, make him a little bit more toony in the process, use him as the basis, and you got your masterpiece right here. All this stuff's in the way. There we go.
That is pretty sweet.
Yeah, he's even got the face. But yeah, this turned out pretty decent. So I'm like, I could see a version of it being upscaled and turned into the masterpiece. Not literally, but take the engineering, the design that they've already done at this level.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I've always liked Springer as a character.
Yeah.
But the funny part is they didn't really show show them a lot, I guess, in the series.
Yeah, his job was to stand there and snark a lot because he was like the Han Solo.
Yeah. Yep. All he was missing was this, huh? Right?
Yeah.
Well, I remember a few times when he just kept insulting Rodimus, which was funny. Between the conversation between RC Springer and Rodimus, it's just like, don't do anything foolish, and I mean, like, and then it comes back later and it's like, so you are kind of foolish, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
You know what would have been nice? Him just slapping Rodimus's head, like from behind, just dummy.
Yep.
The dope slap.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Robots in Disguise. Turns 20 as of
back on
September 8th.
Yeah. I remember taping that the first episode of that and watching it on my VCR later that day because I wasn't around. Though I only finished the show this year because I kind of fell off watching it back in the 2000s, and then I just never got around to it. And then a Discord I'm on started streaming it, so I finally got around to watching that show start to finish. And it's an interesting one. The thing about it is they purposely made it really low stakes compared to most Transformers shows. Like, the planet isn't regularly in danger. And the things that the two groups are doing are rarely like hugely destructive. They're just like having a very low scale ground level thing with each other. And that led to a very like interesting bit of writing on the show because of it. Like, you could do more character based stuff. You could do often it was like really strange and random and silly because it had space for that. But then I won't say anything that happens. I thought it had a really strong final set of episodes because it turns out when you spend like 30-something episodes having a low-scale conflict, just escalating it a little bit suddenly makes it like very effective.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I get confused with Transforming Robots in Disguise. Is that Transforming Robots in Disguise, right?
Yeah, the 2001
anime. I get confused with that, and then I get confused with Armada sometimes because that whole Starscream.
Well, Starscream wasn't in this one, so.
See, I get confused because when I see this version of Optimus Prime, I think of the other ones as well, right? Because he's almost similar.
Well,
Right.
Armada. See, what happened here was this show aired in Japan because they didn't bother bringing Beast Machines over. They decided to do their own thing, and then Beast Machines didn't do well here, so they canceled their plans to do Trans Tech, which was going to be the third show. And they
Right.
said, "Oh, we're not sure what we're doing, so let's just quickly dub this anime and bring it over and import the toy line over, and then we'll figure out what we're doing." And then Robots in Disguise blew up unexpectedly. Like it became really popular amongst like kids. And so they said, okay, let's keep doing this. And that's why Armada and Energon and Cybertron happened, because this did so well, which they weren't expecting because they literally brought it over as filler while they figured things out.
Right. Yeah, it was just, I don't know. I found it a little weird, man, because I got confused, right?
Well, it was a strange show. It was a strange little slice of time in the franchise. Kind of a forgotten one because they never went back to this. It just had the one season and the one little line of figures, and sometimes it'll get homaged once in a blue moon, but mostly it's sort of a forgotten show, and a forgotten universe too.
Well, it's funny because talking about anime, I was mentioning that with D with Transformer Animate, right?
Yeah, same sort of setup.
Yeah, I like that show. It was actually well written.
Yeah, agreed. Bill said, "You ever heard that Hot Rod RC and Springer were modeled after Luke, Leia, and Han?" Oh yeah, I've heard that before. RC is the one that we know most of all because Floro Derry, the guy that did all the movie designs, just straight up said like, "Yeah, those things on her head are Leia's buns." So like we know that. So like that's 100%. We know that for sure.
That's funny.
Well, come on, think about it. Star Wars was like a big thing back in that was like Return of the Jedi, right?
Yeah. It would have come out a couple years earlier.
Yeah, because Return of the Jedi came out in '84.
Yeah,
and then '82 was Empire Strikes Back. Yeah.
Like I've never. Yeah, RID Ultra Magnus. That was a good one. Omega Prime. When they reissued that, I wish that it was more easily available because they like recalled it because quality control errors, and then never brought it back. Big combiner like this big with like huge electronics and stuff. That was the centerpiece of Robots in Disguise.
Yeah. I actually like that version of Ultra Magnus.
Yeah.
That and Prime.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Speaking of Ultra Magnus.
Ooh. A Legends one.
Yeah, New Age H27W Conquest and H28 Octavian Legend Scale G1 Ultra Magnus color prototype.
I think I'm probably in on this set. The only question will be the Optimus Prime figure itself has some kind of wonky proportions. In particular, his arms look like they might be too short, and also his chest seems like it might be like too far ahead relative to his head.
You have the Optimus Prime one, right? That you're gonna put in box. Are you still gonna show us it?
The Optimus Prime one?
The Peck Optimus Peck one.
Optimus Peck. Yeah.
You gotta open that up.
I don't think I'm going to do that one. I think maybe I'll do like another one of the Legends ones tonight. Because Optus Pectus, that's like a high-level transformer. It'll take a long time for me to transform it.
Oh, that's
transform it.
That's the Orion Pax. That's like ridiculously bendy, right?
Yeah. So no, I know myself. Like if I open that, I won't be able to put it down.
So
I got to do one of the smaller ones.
Bill mentioned that he loves the RID Ultra Magnus, and he has 2 sets, one sealed and one opened.
Ooh,
nice.
See, that's hard, man. Like when you get a transformer and you're like, "Do I open this?" Then you buy 2 or 3 or 4.
I'll always open these things. I can't help it. I don't think I could function as a boxed collector. If you could, good on you if you can do that. I know that I can't, right?
Let's go one more news event before we jump into tonight's main topic.
Oh, talk about me.
Yes. Actually, where is this?
See, Bill buys them, 2s and 3s. That's what I'm talking about. I have that same issue as well too, because I don't want to open one up, but then I want to play with one, or then I want to display one.
Oh yeah, Wave 4 of Kingdom's already out.
There
though
he
they haven't
is.
announced it. Shadow Panther. I might pick that guy up just because of the pedigree of his former identity as
Cheetor. He's
rare.
a repaint of Cheetor, right?
Yeah, well, it's like a rare. The original was like a rare Takara only figure, so him getting a version of him getting a North American release is pretty neat. Plus, they gave him his like mutant mask.
Yeah, his Beastmaster.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, looking at the actually, where is it?
There's a couple of more. There's Ravish. We were talking about cats, so that was my segue into this.
He's like, oh,
yeah, like that image just like it looks like I was just laughing when I saw that.
It takes 20 steps to transform him. Wow. It might take me one after a few of these.
Nice. And Bill says I usually buy them in 2s and 3s, so I can play.
Boy.
But hold on, did you see the Ravish one? Do you have that there?
I don't know Beast Wars. My first time viewing is War for Cybertron on Netflix.
Gotta watch the old one. It says or the new comic. Both are good.
Which I'm also surprised with Hasbro releasing all the Transformers episodes on their channel.
On YouTube.
Oh yeah, you guys seen that?
YouTube.
They're just up on YouTube straight up.
Yeah, and because I think the first season was just a kind of like an anniversary thing, and then they uploaded the second season, and then just I think a day or two ago they have most of the third season up.
Yeah, so they're just democratizing it. The whole thing's out there for anybody to go watch.
Yep. And they were doing like live streaming of G.I. Joe too.
And it's like 1080p.
I heard it was even 4K actually.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice. Which I'm guessing that would give Tubi a run for
their money.
Yeah.
That may be the reason.
Mm-hmm.
So at first it seemed like so I told you guys last week, right, that they were doing just the first season.
Yeah.
And Spin, you just followed up. So at first it's like, why would they give away this stuff for free? But I heard about it both times. The first time I heard about it from Mike on Sidereal Hangar, and then just yesterday or today he released another video saying the same thing. That now he might have even said season 2 is on there, but we know it's all on there. So is it like? So at first it's like, oh, they're giving this away, like like it was never there before. Now YouTube is free, but guess what? It's not free. Like people watch ads on it. Right.
Okay.
So they're getting that ad revenue.
Right.
And but on top of that, which again, and this is Mike's analysis, they sell toys when there's media, right?
Yep.
Right.
When there's a show to watch. And the market for these toys, as we know, like we've talked about this a lot, right? Is that these figures that homage so closely G1 obviously are not made for kids, right? Adults will buy them to give them to their kids, but it's like us who are buying them.
Yeah.
And so what he pointed out is the fact that now they've put all these up, on YouTube, that means that they intend to continue with, producing stuff related to G1 in perpetuity. So, a lot of people are theorizing like, are they going to stop drawing from G1? Like we wanted them to do this for so long, they finally did it the last several years. Now they might, just like leave G1 alone and start, transition into, Beast Wars and other stuff, right? But I think that what this shows, and this is what Mike said, I agree with him. I think this indicates to us that we don't have to worry that they're going to drop the G1 homages. It could just keep going,
Right.
keep getting better and better, sweeps and Optimus Primes and everything else. So that'd be cool. Because why not? Because why not be collecting the newest, latest, best Bumblebee, even if it is Bumblebee? But when we are 80 years old, imagine this. Right now in a parallel universe, right now, 40 years from now, we're on this reunion podcast. I'm 85 years old saying, man, if I could just go back in time and give this hot rod to my 45-year-old self, oh my God, my mind would have been blown.
Sure.
And then we're like, yeah, but if you go back, like, would you have the tools to create it? You have to invent all the tooling. Like, they don't even have the VR ways that we sculpt in 3 dimensions with tactile sensation. Like they wouldn't even understand if I said those words. They'd think I was crazy.
Who knows? They probably have what's called replicas.
Yep.
Like on Star Trek.
Replicators.
Yeah, replicators.
Replicators. Yeah, exactly. So I come back and I'd be like, "Yo, just throw it in the replicator. Come on, we got business. We got to sell a bunch of these, dude." I'm like, "Yo, there ain't no replicators for another 20 years, son. Can you invent that shit?"
Oh, that'd be great. Fuck. All you have to do is just sell the software to upload to the replicator. That's it.
Boom.
Man. What can the future be right now?
Well, it is.
No, I'm talking about having that now.
Oh,
that'd be great.
I thought you just meant now being the then of there. Back when? Where?
What?
Now being the
behind you, in the front of you, and to the side.
Are. No matter where you go, there you are. As the great philosopher Trex once said.
Who's on first?
Oh boy.
Oh man. Okay, so do you have Ravish? Do you have Ravish figure? That's pretty sweet because it comes with his cassette tape. Well,
I mean, I'd like to get one once it comes out. Whoa, what are we looking at here?
Oh, here we go. Yeah, they actually made it?
Well, that's one variation. Well, there's actually different variations of him. I don't know if there's an official one, but someone else had shown images of another transforming generally, and of course it just the conversation went like all over the place once they started talking about the flag. So I couldn't even find that post on. So I'm not sure whether or not it was taken down after.
I will say I've searched high and low. There have been a number of fan created things, but there has never been an official one. So that mystery can be put to rest immediately.
Yes.
Could that be like something like Photoshop? I don't want to say Photoshop, but
it's
someone took their time to put that together, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, I've seen some great custom boxes over the years. That feels
that's
like
not even the right car. That's crappy. Like they didn't even use the right
it's
vehicle.
a Nissan Datsun.
Yeah, doesn't make sense.
I'm gonna get the image of another one. Yeah, cause there's been like 2 or 3.
You know what though?
Mm-hmm.
Spin. Did you ever see you've seen my orange BMW, right?
No. Wait,
orange? Yeah, I have an orange one. That's the last. Because this actually could look like that, like my orange BMW, which was convertible. If you took the top down, it actually, the body of the 330 basically looks like that.
Okay.
From 90. or from 2001 up to 205. Anyway, it's a fail as a General Lee.
Yeah, I wouldn't even if it wasn't for the packaging, specifically showing those two characters, I wouldn't immediately peg it as that. Oh, that and the flag in the back. Yeah, I'd be like, oh, cool smokescreen variant.
Yeah, that looks like from the dollar store.
So you're less generous than mine. You're saying bootleg. I was saying variant.
Look, and that was made in paint. Yeah, so
open up another version of one here.
So did you know that ESPN they didn't ban this guy? Okay, I want to make that straight.
This Transformer?
No. So it's not that they didn't ban them, but they were like cautious for his safety. So they're like, did you want to kind of like change your name? Right. And because his name was actually sounded like General, like his first name, and he's an Asian dude, right? And his last name is Lee. So I was like, I thought that was very interesting.
Let me find the actual image.
Now, is that the one from?
Oh, we got G.I. Joe. So what are we doing? Are we on the hunt to finding that General Lee Transformer?
Oh, I have another image of it. I'm just trying to get access of it.
So this is like, is it like that segment from William Sapsh? What's his name? Williams. What's his last name again? I can't even pronounce it correctly. The guy from Star Trek.
William Shatner.
Thank you. Is it like one of those episodes, Weird or What?
Yeah, Weird or What?
I don't think I've ever seen that.
No, it's actually a really good show.
Okay. It seemed like a pretty good show to make fun of, too.
No, but the funny part is, William, he's actually making fun of all, like, of all these myths and stuff like that, right? It's like he's being sarcastic, but in a nice way.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't like almost anything that he's in ends up being you end up making fun of.
Oh, that guy's a sarcastic bastard, eh? I'm telling you, man.
Yes. It's
and I love it.
I think at one point he actually hated Star Trek fans, and only in maybe the last decade started embracing them, realizing that the reason he's still relevant is because of Star Trek fans.
Yeah, and that's why he has money in his bank as well too.
Exactly.
So we're gonna be on that hunt to find that actual General Lee, if it does exist or not.
Yeah. And I mean, I just had a quick look and I checked it up. The famous video that everybody recognizes it from is called "Jazz with a General Problem," and it's
yes,
that stop motion video. That's from 2008. That is
13
years old.
It was 13 years old. I'm like, I remember like coming across it, and it was already a few years old. I'm like, this is a cool video.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I want to make a correction. I just remember right now. The Asian reporter, his name was Robert Lee. My bad. I said General. Like, sounded like General. No, it sounded. I wanted to say it sounded like the name of the General, Robert Lee. So they had asked him to change his name for his safety. Because that was that whole time they were taking down the statue and everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I suspect that the sort of mimetic existence of a General Lee Transformer probably springs from that stop motion video, given how old it is and how many people probably remember it.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of winds up inside people's consciousnesses as a thing that actually existed when it was actually a fan-made custom.
I mean,
well, you know,
that and,
go ahead,
and also like for years, everyone was saying, imagine if, just imagine like 80s vehicles being, being Transformers.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what the collaborative line is all about these days. So perhaps that's put it back in people's heads. Got
Right.
Mr. DeLorean over here, and they did the Ghostbusters guy, and they did the Top Gun jet, and they did an X-Men jet, and they're doing that Jurassic Park set, and now they're doing Dracula for some reason. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're
The weird thing
using
about
Mind
that,
Wipe.
yeah, the weird thing that people keep saying about that one is they're like, Dracula's public domain. They didn't need to make a deal with Universal Monsters. They could have just made that.
Oh, is it? He is public domain?
Yeah, Dracula the character, the Bram Stoker
Interesting.
novel.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because it looked like they're gonna come out like a whole line of
that's true.
with Frankenstein, werewolf, the mummy, and so forth, right? So
That might be why. That'd be a good reason to start it out like that. Because I don't think all of those are public domain.
so because
So
they use Mind Wipe, right?
Yeah,
And they gave him the cape and everything. It actually looks really cool.
yeah. It's where I got the guy here. I got Convo Bat. So it's this
Convo
tooling.
Bat?
Yeah, it's a Takara name from Bat Optimus Prime. Well, they did a Mind Wipe retool.
Well,
Yeah,
none of
he was
these
the original
crossovers
Beast
has
Boy.
appealed to me at all, except for this Dracula one. This might be like the first one that I would consider getting.
Yeah, I will say they're expensive, so I'm waiting for some actual reviews to come out because the Gigawatt, the DeLorean here, like he was expensive, but he was
How much
actually
was
pretty. He was like 60 Canadian.
And I think that bot mode looks like crap.
Yeah, but I will say, like in his DeLorean mode, like the sculpting and paintwork was well above like a standard deluxe. So I'm like, I don't know if it was totally worth it because a lot of that's just for that license. But like they definitely had above average budget when they were making this, so it had that going for it. The Dracula one, I'm like, okay, so they gave him a cloth cape. I'll need to see more to see if it's worth the inflated price tag that it'll probably come with. Based on messing around with this guy, which it's a good tooling, but it's just like a boilerplate deluxe.
Where'd you get that figure? Because that was supposed to be the original Beast War leader, right?
Yeah, this is a old Takara thing. I got it at a TF Con a few years ago. It was
wow.
It's from like the last few years. It's they took Mind Wipe and just painted him up as him instead, and added some swords to the mix, and
Oh, okay, because I didn't see that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, one thing that I thought was really weird about the Dracula crossover too is this guy's supposed to be a headmaster, right?
No, yeah, they didn't do that.
Yeah, they seem to have removed that functionality, but people were like, if you're gonna make a Dracula robot, make it a Dracula mech, and have him pilot make a little Dracula,
Actually, you know what? It's funny that you mentioned about the mech side of it. Damn, I should have. You know what? Next week I'll save that video. Diaclone just came out with like this whole new series.
They've been
like Transformers series kind of thing, right? And they did it was like a stop motion kind of cartoon.
Mm-hmm. And
I was like, wow, this actually looks really good.
I'm grateful I didn't get into those because those are expensive as hell. Back when they did that first new Diaclone die battles, I was like, this is pricey. Do I want this as a one-off? Maybe it's expensive. And then I saw how at TFCon it was like really small, and I was like, nope. And then now it's a whole giant line. And I'm like, I'm glad I didn't get started down that road. Looks cool, it just looks expensive.
Everything's expensive today, man. No matter what you do.
Yeah. Oh, but this in particular, it's like just like budget unchained. But it's like
I finally got the image.
Yeah, I was waiting. Which one you're looking for? Which image? The Dracula one?
No, the General Lee.
Oh, okay.
Saved on a different computer.
I'm just trying to remember how he transforms. I'll figure it out eventually.
YouTube.
Well, I mean, my usual method is to I can figure it out if I get like a good picture to stare at,
Yeah, but you know what? What's called? But that Ravish one that's coming out, that looks really nice. It's based on the Beast War figures, right?
Yeah, it's coming out sometime in like November, I think.
Yeah. There you go.
That's also not the one from the stop motion, surprisingly.
Mhm.
I'm just quickly flicking through it. Yeah, it would be
Is that Cliff Jumper?
Yeah, what is that based on? I can't easily tell what that is. I don't think that's Cliff Jumper. Is it like, I'm interested because that looks scratch built. I can't immediately identify what that came from.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I mean,
Because the vehicle mode, it looks like the Transformer Prime Cliff Jumper.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Robot mode though, that's like something else totally different. It's got the door wings.
What
and
about
the
alternators? I think it's a custom from an alternator.
Oh, you know, it
That
might
too.
be.
Right.
The way those doors pop out there, that's kind of giving me that vibe. But definitely it's a whole custom, front and back. Like the front and back of the car, that's clearly custom. So basically the shell. They redid the shell, but might have used a alternator's body. That's my guess.
They did a really good job in the sense of
Yeah, it does. It does
recreating
look. It looks quality.
Yeah.
But I mean, the one from the YouTube video, and considering how many years back that
Do you
one
see-
goes, like
You
that
see the
one
guy's
was also
name up in
done
here?
well.
Try it. You could try Googling General Lee Transformer with the guy's name up in the corner, which is Juan Pablo Reyes. Yeah, Reyes.
Juan Pablo.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
It's a Latino primo.
I'm just gonna
Maybe that. I mean, that could be the name of the person who took the picture, but it also could be. This meme that you have here makes it look like we're promoting the fucking General Lee Transformer.
what Patreon level is this?
Yeah, this could give the wrong impression. This thumbnail.
This is called the dark web. The dark web Patreon.
Okay. Well, let's see. So we did have a Facebook reference.
But they did a really good job doing that. Like if that's a custom. Good. Yeah. See, that's the issue, right? Like stuff like this, obviously, it doesn't belong now. But back in the 80s, we never thought about these things, right? As kids.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at it, you're like, wow, that's pretty cool. But now as an adult, you can see the thing that shouldn't be there, right?
You just put it as you just if they had this figure, as long as it's one of the bad guys, it's like and if they get sponsorship from the KKK, they get sponsorship from the KKK, but it's like this thing with Cobra Commander, right? With the hood, when we were talking about this, like, oh, you can't wear the hood anymore because that's going to suggest he's racist. Well, it's a ruthless terrorist organization determined to rule the world. So if they're not racist, then they're doing something right, which is not what they are.
Which is here's something to throw into like real life politics, from another meme, because who do you think funded Cobra?
Good question. I don't know my G.I. Joe lore.
Was it an Amway?
No, it's gonna be a dumb answer, but it's gonna be quite interesting.
He did an upside down pyramid. That's how fun. That's how he started. What's it called?
No, but we talked about this already on the show.
Hasbro.
No.
Yeah, what? And then according to the meme, Hasbro funded Cobra, but then Hasbro also funded G.I. Joe.
So they're playing.
Damn, that's deep. That is deep, son.
Exactly.
Well, if they weren't around, then G.I. Joe wouldn't be around.
No, but Hasbro is Destro. You see?
Right.
The arms dealer.
Yep.
Plastic crack. It all makes sense now.
Yep. You can't have one without the other.
How many shows call that out? And like, we're funding both sides of the war. As long as you guys keep warring, we just keep getting rich.
Yeah. It's all about the buying.
Somebody needs to make a meta Transformers story about that.
So are the evil twin brothers executives in Hasbro?
They probably
Yeah,
are.
They're the guys that do the Hasbro Pulse shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wearing disguises, of course.
Yes.
We just got to make sure that we see the guy with a scar, and then we know that's him.
Right.
See.
So,
But they put him as an Autobot. That was like the whole thing behind this.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't know when this was made. Like a lot of this dates back to like 2 decades ago at this point, which is wild. But
yeah, I don't know if this one is especially the recent one that I saw, if he's classed as Autobot or Decepticon. Like it's just it just exists, but they never really put him on a side.
Hey, Google this. Google Alternators Grimlock.
Oh gosh.
I think that might be the mold. He was like a silver, like a Charger or something like that.
Yeah,
right.
That makes sense. Charger, Grimlock, yeah. Muscle.
his wheels were at a different place. Doesn't mean it's not him, but I kind of feel like.
Look at the shoulders and the arms and the thighs. See if they match.
Well, he was a Mustang, but I mean, I could see it being modified to this.
Oh yeah. No, he was a Mustang. That's what I meant. Yeah, because it's got that flat. It's got like a flat front. Can you Can you put it on the screen?
Let me find a good one.
Yeah, there's there's ones of him just in flat profile that are useful.
Well, why can't we just do Charger, Alternator, or Transformer? See who that is, if there is one.
No, it wasn't. It was a Mustang.
See, someone's categories. And yes, I have a cat.
So that's Pepperoni. She's really.
So there we go. Now we got to do Transformers and cats.
Yeah. Everybody, bring out your Cheetos, or your Catillas, or your.
I'll stick with my Ravage.
Yeah, or your Ravage. Why did I forget the most obvious one?
Surprised nobody went.
Mine's called Loca.
Spin, are you gonna put that picture up?
Yeah.
For a good one. It's like, okay. Like any real good angles that are just simple.
Anthony, you can throw one up if you found one.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw one up.
Okay.
Let me just put him in a new tab. And then and then I go to Shabba-dooba-dee-ba-doo.
Yeah, don't forget Shabba-dooba-doo.
Yeah. And then Bob's your uncle. There we go. It's just straight on.
There we go. That's a good one.
I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I didn't think so either as soon as I saw it, because I'm like, the wheels are in a different place, the windows are different,
the legs
doors
are
are in a
different
different
too.
place. Yeah.
All right. Oh yeah, no, that's definitely not it. No. I'm not even sure now if Alternators is a good guess.
Could be a scratch build. Those things happen. Some people are that talented.
I mean, it's just if you just look at I don't know. I guess it could be. Like those, just the way the doors are and the arms, that elbow joint, that waist, it just looks so familiar. Like it's almost like it would almost be dumb to build that from scratch. You know, like there's just so many pieces like that, you know. But he very well, like, so the way it looks like, if it's a custom, like I think it's probably just the panels, you know, everything that's orange is probably, you know, new. And then the core of that thing, the core of that body is some transformer. That would be my guess.
Good evening, TF Collect. And TF Collect says Generally's shins looks like the roof. Alternator's Grimlock's alternator's Grimlock's shins looks like the rear window.
Yeah, I can see now that I was just doing that from memory, but like now that we're looking at the Grimlock, I can see it's not the Grimlock.
But I mean, considering they've been customizing it generally for that many years, like there has to be one of the alternators that they picked it up from. Since I mean, this is years before any of the MPs started to come out.
Oh,
or
okay,
probably just as they came out.
Okay, look at Meister.
Alternators.
Say jazz alternators. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let me. I can do them here because I just realized.
Yeah, jazz alternators has this body type.
Yeah, maybe. Let me try and get a nice straight on one. There we go. What you think? Could it be this guy?
Yeah. Zoom into one of them.
What do you want me to zoom into?
Yeah. Look at those. See, look at the. That's it. That's the base model.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily the mold, but like the base transformation. Like, because for this, why don't you full screen that? Oh, never mind. You have full screen. Sorry.
Yeah.
So if you flip back and forth, you can see the engineering in that arm is identical. Those wings, open up on the back there, right? And then the shins, whatever happens with the bottom legs. So they like the basic transformation, the basic engineering of this figure. They also used for the Datsun brothers.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. Oh, and obviously, what? Come on. I don't know why I suggested this one first. It's obviously the Datsun brothers. I had to like wind that through in my head. So actually, if you go to like Smoke Screen or Blue Streak, do Blue Streak alternators. I bet that's the actual mold because it's the same transformation as this. What you're showing right here, but the length of the doors and everything, that'll fit with the Datsun. Over to you guys, and then and then mystery solved.
Well, TF Collect says alternator Smokescreen has a similar upper. Similar upper.
No, it is alternator Smokescreen. That's who that. And this is the same figure right here. Smokescreen is just colored differently than this guy. So look at the hand. It's got a hinge with just one.
Ooh,
like it's got the typewriter fingers, right? Just one pin.
So
see, this is the same thing.
It's just a question of the wheels. I mean, generally these wheels are more up on his shoulders.
Oh, let's see that. The General Lee. It's on the shoulders right here. The wheels are on the shoulders. You said the wheels are on the shoulders of the General Lee?
Yeah, but like on the top part of his shoulders.
Well, this is on his shoulders. The wheel's on the shoulders right there.
I'm gonna just get it up there so I can flip between them.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I see that. That could just be part of the custom.
Right.
Like that actually does look customized too. I don't think that those wheels actually do go there. Oh, but all this stuff that I was saying about the arm, I'm wrong. The joint in there does not look the same as the alternator joint. Well, what about just regular ass old MP Blue Streak?
Well, TF Collect says check out Classics Jazz. Maybe that's the basis for it.
It's funny how we know for sure it's something.
Yes.
Like we have seen this before.
We'll just
It's
go
like
through like
random.
everything. It's like that's it.
Oh yeah, there might be something to that. Here, let me. That's not a very flattering photo, but it's accurate. Open image in a new tab. Yeah. Okay.
I was
Looks
a
like
little bit closer.
there's the General Lee and there's that. The arms are sure the same shape.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know. Gosh, it's
And
closer,
the wheels are up higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See the crotch
no.
shape? No, it's not the same.
Mhm.
Crotch, not the same.
Close.
Yeah, it's close. It still could be customized from there. But it looks like that that definitely does the same transformation, right?
Yeah, it does
Look at the legs. Okay, go back to General Lee. Let's look at the bottom wheels on the legs.
Yeah.
Can we see?
Hmm.
It's like the same transformation.
Are the wheels on the shins in the same way on the General Lee?
On the back of his legs. Yep. So that may be one of the key bases on the General Lee. We have 30 minutes left in the show. Of course, as we speak about the General Lee, we do have to speak about the flag on the General Lee. On whether or not the flag should stay or be taken off, or as I've seen in one group, a variation that it gives you a hint of what the flag is, but isn't the actual flag.
I guess the real question there is, would this be a thing they'd be interested in doing, say, in the collaborative line?
We've lost Anthony.
That was 100% my fault. I was closing the windows down and then I closed the one that the thing was gone. I was like, wow.
Well, it's funny is I'm not hearing Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, am I back on?
Yeah, you're
there.
back.
You go.
Oh, sorry guys.
I didn't mean to leave. I was closing all my windows and then I accidentally shut the window. This was happening and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. No, I was just basically saying that as kids, when we saw that vehicle, we were like, oh, that's really cool. We enjoyed the show because the show was actually a pretty cool show as well too, right? And now that we're older and wiser, and when we see that vehicle, we understand what that flag represents and also the name as well too, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's like, do we do that? I don't want to say that cancel culture, but do we put something out there and piss off a lot of people?
Yeah. I was gonna say,
or do we just not do it and save the headaches and the anger and the disappointment of putting that figure out there, right? And I'm not saying it's a cost. I'm not saying. Let me just finish my point here, Anthony. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I accidentally.
No, that's okay. It's sometimes, you know what? Sometimes, maybe just doing nothing is just. When I say doing nothing, sometimes it's the best route to go because again, I'm not gonna piss as a company. I'm not gonna piss off a lot of people, right? So it's not. I don't think it's even worth it to even go that route and create that. I'm not canceling it. There's TV shows that we can always go back and take a look at it, right? And kind of relive like those nostalgic moments as kids, right? But a lot of people didn't grow up on that show like how we did, and we know what the show is all about, right? But I personally wouldn't put that particular toy out, especially with a name and also the flag on top of it as well too. I wouldn't just do it. Go ahead, Anthony.
Well, I mean, I was just gonna say that. I'm like, the only hypothetical thing to discuss here is would they do a collaborative of it, and like flag or no flag, I don't think they would. Hashtag would touch that with a 10-foot pole in 2021, right? They'd probably just let it be for those reasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like whatever. Everything else that they've done has been either current stuff or like extreme recognizable 80s properties. I don't think they'd want to touch the Dukes of Hazzard because they didn't want to open that discussion to begin with, right? Because either you put it on there and there's all the problems of why are they putting a Confederate flag on in 2016, because like you said, it means something different now than it did to the audience of the 80s or 70s,
right?
Or they don't put it on there and they put something else on there, as has been suggested, and suddenly its absence becomes a debate in and of itself. So my personal thing is I don't think it's ever going to happen, because I don't think, I say this as a guy in PR as well, no company, least of all Hashtag, wants to even open that can of worms.
Let's see you, Mikey.
I mean, I kind of agree to the same way. It's I mean, there are the diehard fans that would love to see it exactly as it is, and they would buy it, but you do end up crossing that line of offending a lot of people, now with a lot of people understanding the history behind it, and and being affected in some way where the company itself wouldn't want that backlash, because I mean, aside from it just being from like a public opinion backlash, there could be like a lot of legalities that that they would have to deal with, which just in terms from the company perspective, it's they don't want to deal with those extra expenses if they don't have to. And I mean, it is unfortunate. It's like, it's like as Michael was saying, many of us grew up with the show, and enjoyed it as children, and and realized the car itself was more the star of the show than any of the actors. But it's kind of like the subdued symbolism within having the show itself, or having the vehicle itself, and I mean, even when you go back and rewatch the show, just like certain wordage within like how the characters interact with each other, the Duke's clan, Boss Hog always calling money Somalians, I believe, and just certain other little things. But then someone else will be like, well, the show couldn't be completely racist. They had like the black sheriff in Chickasaw County.
But you see, but that's the problem. Like, again, going back in the 80s on that, we never see, that's the beauty of not being tainted, right? We just look at it as, I don't want to say it's purity, but you're just looking at it. This is a fun show about two guys that are trying to do good, but they're always labeled as bad guys or outlaws. But at the end of the day, they're like Robin Hood, right? And they have this cool car that's jumping over these ramps and all that. And that's what I'm looking at. That's what, as a child, that's what we're looking at, right? Mm-hmm. Now that we're getting older, and like I said, wiser and tainted, because now we know what this is all about, right? It's like we look at it with different pair of glasses now, right? And so when we hear, comments like that, we're like, oof. Or like, even for example, like even Archie Bunker, right? Imagine Archie Bunker or even George Jefferson, watching that today. That would never happen, right? But those were like funny shows,
and
right?
it's
That
funny.
was based on what was happening that day in that environment, right? It was like a satire, right? But but the Dukes of Hazzard wasn't a satire. It was a TV show aimed for a young population that like cool cars, right?
They, just as you said, with with like George Jefferson and Archie Bunker, like I had a conversation like some months ago with like just this guy, and we were talking about like old TV shows, and he said how that show couldn't be around today, and then he was saying like just a lot of things in that show were racist, but I said a lot of things in that show was basically what people were thinking, and it was that time. It's like nowadays you can't really say what's on your mind because you get canceled or you get in trouble, and I'm like,
you're afraid to.
like, yeah, we lived in neighborhoods where it's like people thought exactly like Archie Bunker, and they would say exactly what he's saying. So it wasn't anything like, oh my gosh, this guy's like, over the top. And I'm like, half this neighborhood is over the top. That's how everyone thought, back then. But at least, they were communicating, and it's like, well, I don't like you for who you are. Okay, I don't like you for who you are, but at least we know it. It's not now. It's like, we'll just be nice to each other, but we really don't like each other. But we won't say it because, then it becomes a Twitter war and a Facebook battle and this and that, and just beating around the bush of actually just saying what people think. Or you say what you think, and it's like, well, now you're a bad guy for being honest.
Yeah, well, it's today's time, right? And people got to start understanding words are just words. They don't hurt. My fist does. My foot does, but not my words, right? Toughen up a little bit. But really, but going back to the whole generally, I personally, as a business, just to collect a couple of coins, and then after that, I got to give that up in court cases. It's not the hassle, because it does represent the flag itself, not the vehicle, not the show, but the flag itself does represent something. And my purpose as a toy company is to bring joy to kids, right? And also to bring even happiness to adults, right? Because we're adults and we're collectors, right? And I don't want to see anybody grab one of my toys and say, you know what, this part of my language, but this is fucking stupid. Like, really? I would never want to do that as a toy maker. I want to see people happy, right? So I personally wouldn't touch it either, too.
That's why they licensed the DeLorean instead.
Yeah.
Right.
The flux capacitor.
Yeah. But I mean, what's interesting is then you have like Duke's festivals. It's like hundreds of people. I think even a couple of thousand like show up to these festivals every year. And they have they have displays of General Lees and and the Jeeps and then the sheriff cars and everything, and they're still making money off of it because there is still a huge amount of fans that are into it.
Yeah, but that's also their culture as well too, right? And I hate saying this, but every culture has their thing, right? And for them, I'm not offending anybody. I'm just here having a good time. But they don't understand that another culture is being offended because they see some kind of symbol that kind of represents something that that brings obviously pain to them, right? So it's a crazy world we're living in right now, right? But at the same time too, it's I'm not saying we got to be people pleasers, but we also have to be considerate, and that's the key thing. Be considerate, and have a little bit of respect, right?
Plus, you mentioned cultures a lot, and culture is not a static thing. Culture changes, right? So
it does change, but you also have your traditions as well too, right? As an Italian, I'll put it this way: as an Italian background, going on to your point, Anthony, right? You have Italians back in Italy that will look at Italians from Canada and United States, and they'll say, "Oh my God, you guys are still living like it's 1950s."
Yeah.
You know what I mean, right? Because we have that old culture attitude, right? Whereas those guys, they don't have that. They don't have that attitude anymore, or they still have it, but it's a little bit more modern in that aspect, right? So just to add to your point there, you're right, but there's still some of that tradition that still carries. Where did Mike go? Mike transformed into me.
Yeah. Mike became the other Mike.
Hold on, wait. I have my hat here, so there you go.
There you go.
There we go. Allergies are kicking in.
Oh yeah, you too?
Yeah.
Make sure you get your rapid test.
Oh gosh.
I don't know. Did you hear anything? What Anthony and I were just commenting on, Mike?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like here in North America. We live to work, whereas in Europe they work to live.
Exactly. A different mindset.
Yeah. And you have protesters there, like for example in France, and they've been protesting, and they're protesting, especially in Europe, man. It's they'll climb right up to Parliament and grab you by the throat, and kick you right out of there. And then over here, you have people complaining that you're in front of hospitals and you're blocking people from getting there, to emerge or whatever case is. So we need to arrest these people.
Yeah.
Right. So. But again, like I said, I'm kind of repeating myself again. As a toy maker or as a toy business, I would never want to put anything out there that I'm going to make anybody, especially children, upset. And that shouldn't be your business model or your business plan. That shouldn't be part of that, right? Like, you have to bring joy and happiness, right?
That's why they changed slag to slug.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, it means it's rude slang in the United Kingdom, so they changed so that's why the name went through the change.
Interesting.
Same basic idea.
That's yeah. I mean, we're like we learn certain names of characters growing up, but like I never knew that slag was offensive and to others.
Yeah, it's a UK thing, so they just that's why the name is slug on like all the new products.
Interesting. Right. Okay.
Again, another culture, right?
Yeah.
And we just learned something new, right? So if I had used that word and if I was in England, I would have offended somebody, right?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I've always said, when you always have a conversation with anybody, be prepared because you are going to offend somebody.
Right.
Right. So you just never know. But if you do know, have some courtesy, have some respect, and don't do that. And hopefully it's a two-way thing, because then that person's going to understand your culture, your beliefs, and they're going to have some respect and some courtesy. So that's all you can do.
Yeah.
Where did he go?
I know. I thought he would have really jumped in on the topic. Especially the timing of speaking of a Transformer generally, the actual General Lee statue was taken down in one of the states. I was like, I was surprised. I'm like, it just happened to be like quite a coincidence with that.
It's it's times are changing.
Well, it's I mean, there's just a few ways to look at it in terms of erasing history. You almost can't erase history in a sense of say, I mean, we'll take the Cosby Show for instance. Yeah, and I mean that's a thing where it's like I've seen in some conversations just mentioning Bill Cosby, like everyone just gets all up in arms, but then within the conversation, then they kind of understand. Considering at the time when the show was out, we were children, so we connected to like myself, I connected Theo and Vanessa because I was around their age, so I couldn't connect to Dr. Huxtable because in reality he's like 20-30 years older than me, so I have no idea what it's like to be a grown man in grade 7 or to be a doctor and this and that. So my connection to the show's different. But then there's a lot of good memories that I have of the show. So then it's unfortunate learning of everything that he's done afterwards. It's like, well, let's erase the show, get him off here, cancel everything he's done. But I still remember the show. I can't erase the memories that existed back in the 80s. Same as people say, well, this Transformers movie like ruined my childhood. And I'm like, how? Like, at what point did someone go back in like 1984 and ruin your childhood? Like, whatever happened then, if the movie's good, okay. If the movie's bad, okay. It doesn't affect my childhood. That happened 30 something years ago. Like that,
Well, you see, that's the problem. Like, a lot of people have to understand, a fictional character is not the same person. They got to learn how to separate the two. Again, when Transformers first came out, I was a little upset because Optimus Prime had a mouth and Bumblebee didn't have a voice and stuff like that, right? And I was like, well, what's going on here, man? Like the storyline, a little bit like Megatron was frozen on Earth. That should have been Jetfire, right?
Yep.
So. But at the same time, too, you have to remember, okay, so they're trying to introduce or reintroduce the Transformers to new audience. And who's that new audience? The kids that are, 10, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, whatever it is. Just like how we were introduced to Transformer back in 84.
Yep.
And we were like, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yep.
Right? So that experience we have is going to be a similar situation for these kids, right? So when I watched the Cosby Show, I loved that show, man. It was fantastic, and there was a lot of life lessons to learn there in that show as well.
Yeah,
even from Dr. Huxtable, not Bill Cosby.
Right.
You get what I mean, right? And it was a good family show, right? So when I watch that show, I am watching the show. I'm not watching. Yes, it's Bill Cosby portraying Dr. Huxtable, right?
Yep.
And so I'm not going to look at him. Oh, that's Bill Cosby. No, that's Dr. Huxtable. Well, I know I'm saying it incorrectly right now, but
there's actually an outtake of one of the characters who, and it's one of the funniest outtakes. He couldn't say Dr. Huxtable either.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah,
right?
And then it's what was it? Is like however he said it, like everyone just started laughing. Like even the characters started laughing. But yeah, like I watched the show with my girls and it was just like they loved it. It was just a great show, because
if you think about it too, Mikey, like that show, if you take that show today, it would even fit the narrative of what's happening today, and what's happening today in a sense, right?
Oh, it does. It's
there you go.
Like Sinbad's comedies like that too, and the thing why we connected with it, it's say like take Theo and Vanessa for instance, having that first high school dance or like their first awkward boyfriend. Every single person in high school and junior high had the exact same experience. So so in a sense, you can almost like replace the characters in the show. It's a life experience show. Like it's not it's not cars flying in space. That's just not going to happen.
So what? Are they going to remake the show?
I don't know.
Right. So, but it is what it is. It was made. You can't erase it. And going back to that General Lee, you can take down the statue. You can destroy. You can demount. You can do whatever you want with that. But unfortunately, that person existed.
Well, here's a flip side to
what
you were saying in terms of introducing Transformers movies to like newer children.
Yep.
When you erase history, you are now taking it away from children.
Correct.
Because in a sense, like, these children will grow up and never see that statue or never know of certain elements of history. So in a sense, they're now raised in this reality of like, well, everything was just perfect, and how I see my reality, that's how it is. Whereas like we know, in order for it to be perfect for their reality, there was a lot of imperfections that existed, but now we just erase those imperfections, so they just see this perfect world, and they think, well, it was perfect now, so it must have been perfect for you guys. It must have been perfect generations before. And I'm like, no, it wasn't perfect, but we've now erased it, so the imperfections just disappeared. Even though in our heads, they didn't disappear, but in the books, they don't exist.
So, but that's the funny part, because how do you learn? You can't do everything perfect. You got to fail.
That's
right.
That's the new age of thinking. You teach certain things in terms of the way you teach the younger is you either disable their thinking or teach them in certain ways to not expand on their ability of critical thinking.
And well, guess what? Then they're never going to learn, because America at that time was becoming a country in a sense, and they had to go through a lot of up and down. They had to make a lot of mistakes, and they had to learn from it.
Oh, many countries.
Exactly.
Many countries. Yeah.
Exactly. So, do you take down these statues? Sure, you do. Do you hide them? No, you don't. That's why you can have museums. That's why you have, books and so forth, right? But it's a good reminder what not to do, and not have that repeat itself. Imagine if we have a World War III, and technically, it could happen, right? But you know what saved? Here's the funny part, and you know what saved us? When I say us, the world, from the Cold War.
I gotta know that story. Yeah.
Do you know that story?
The one guy.
No, well, that's part of the one guy. That's another story for another guy, like a Russian guy in the submarine there, that heard these what's called feel like it was like a simulation happening, and he couldn't get real not that one. It was there was a movie that happened back in the 80s where they showed and I'm trying to remember the name of it.
And that movie,
I think it was called The Next Day. No, I think it was called The Next Day or something like that. And it showed, Russia and United States actually launching the what's called the rockets, and the impact and the devastation that those nuclear bombs happened. And you saw the people that went through the radiation and basically disintegrated. Mm-hmm. So that movie actually really helped the Cold War in a sense of, for that not to happen, right? So again, learning from mistakes, learning from past failures. So hopefully World War III doesn't happen, because what happened through the Cold War, what could happen if any of these nuclear bombs got dropped on any country, and the devastation that can happen, right? So I know we're going a little bit long-winded on this, right? But it's just the whole point is that gotta learn from your mistakes, because otherwise you don't learn. You gotta understand your history, so history doesn't repeat itself. And if we wrap it right back to Transformers again, it's what we saw was great, and what the kids are seeing today are going to be great for them. We may have some issues or some, hey, get off my lawn kind of moment, right? But that's okay.
Which funny now wrapping it back to Transformers, and with Hasbro releasing all the episodes, Now I'm curious to go through the whole episode list and see if they've left out any episodes that were questionable.
That was interesting because I've had that discussion too, and no, they didn't. The two third season episodes with that nation that is an extreme parody of Libya that made
Yep.
Casey Kassam, who is Arabic, actually quit the show because of it. Those are still on there. They didn't edit those. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, it is what it is. They just left him up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the Five Faces of Darkness ones, and one of the an episode called Thief in the Night.
Yes. And I mean, we could even go back to the episodes with Raul, Trax, and Blaster.
Yeah.
Like everyone's saying, only Latinos go around stealing cars.
Yeah, I think that's reaching those. The
I guess you didn't hear what I said. Eh?
Wait, sorry?
I guess you guys didn't hear what I said. I go, yeah. What's your point? I'm not saying I went around stealing cars back in the days. In case people are wondering, yes, I am half Latino too. My background is Latino and Italian. Okay, so there you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a bit of a stretch. Those season 3 episodes are the only things I know about as being overtly not aging well.
Yeah, but you know what? So what are you gonna do in that situation? So what you're gonna draw like, I don't know, aliens stealing cars now, so nobody gets offended.
Actually,
and then aliens that happen to be drawn at that time actually invades Earth, and then they're going to be offended because there were the cartoon made of them stealing cars.
Right. Actually, there was that one episode in season 2. It was a prince where he had stolen the parts from the aerial bots.
Oh, yeah, that was an unnamed genericized nation.
Yes.
I only know that because this was the discussion that we were having. We were discussing, are they going to throw up season 3's episodes or not? People were like, wasn't Carbonia in season 2? And they were like, no. They didn't name the place that season 2 episode with the aerial bots happened in.
Right.
I don't know. Sometimes like I was saying before, sometimes people just gotta watch it and just leave it alone. It's a show.
Yeah.
Like if it's really offensive, okay, I can understand, right? Like they're being blatant and offended. But sometimes it's just a show. And it's like we were talking about like last week, like with the Fast and the Furious, there's people complaining about, oh, that's not realistic. How did this guy Dom, is able to jump into the middle of in the air and a string gets cut onto his tire and he's able to bungee jump and cord with his car in the middle of the air and stuff like that. Who cares? It's a movie. It's just having fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes people just critique too much. Like, when you stretch something just to find what you're looking for.
Yeah, stretch it too much and you actually find it, but not.
Well, you can do that with everything.
Looking for yes.
But you can do that with everything. All right.
Well, let's say TF Collect has said good points about the General Lee. It's just too bad such an iconic car probably won't ever get the Transformer crossover treatment. I think third party can tackle this.
Oh, absolutely. Those guys do not care.
Really? I don't think they won't. You know what? The only way I see this happening is someone just customizes it. They do it on their own or they paid somebody to do it.
Yeah. Well, this didn't really get to the mainstream, but remember when the Hong Kong protests were happening and you had the Chinese police cracking down? There's a third party that made a version of Last Night Bumblebee, and they did a version of him in Hong Kong police colors at the exact same time.
Oh,
and people were like, "Oh my god!" Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay.
So Bumblebee was going around cracking heads.
I mean, that was the implication, so that's why I'm like, when I say third parties don't care, they don't care. They will do it if they think there's cash there.
Yeah, and I mean, in a sense, it's like, they'll come out with a line, sell whatever, and then just like change their name, then change the company name, and just come out with something else later on, like after that sells out.
Well, I'll tell you right now, China doesn't care. Right? China does not give a what, right? If they're actually banning a lot of things from the Western, I guess, culture, right? If you want to say it like that. So anything that's very feminine, like a guy that's very feminine, they're banning that. They're banning music, certain types of music videos and stuff like that, right? They want to make China very masculine, right? And even Russia, part of it as well too. If you look at their what's called their recruitment for their army, there's actually a video, and someone, I can't remember, it was on YouTube. Someone compare all three. They compare China, Russia, and then America, right? And you can see the big difference where they're heading.
But I mean, that's exactly what we were saying earlier. Like every country, every nation, every region has its ways of doing things. So it's like tying in with the General Lee, and it's like, well, people have issues with the flag, people won't have issues with it. It's like some countries, people have issues with how this country is being run. People won't have issues with it. Like there's always going to be both sides of it. You almost unless you end up in the future where it's like, now we've got an entire federation and like everyone's resolved and everyone's cool with each other. There's always going to be issues, and even within the federation, everyone was not cool with each other. Yeah, so. Yeah. The whole show's based on issues in a sense, aside from just exploring other cultures.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I don't want to drag it on anymore.
Yeah.
This conversation, to be honest with you, I think we killed it. But my thoughts on the General Lee is, again, if I'm a toy maker, I wouldn't touch it. It's not good for business.
Yeah,
because I'm a business to make money, but the primary is also, and I'm talking about my own character, like my own personal character. I'm there to make kids happy, and even some adults as well too. And I don't want to piss anybody off. That's not my business.
You've got the
model.
Fall Guy, 18 van, Ecto 1 with Ecto 1, the DeLorean, like a whole ton of other vehicles that could that could be like easily turned into Transformers and become fan favorites for everyone. Yep, and have been. Yep.
What about you, Ans? Just to wrap it up.
Yeah, same thing. Like, I don't think they're ever going to do one because I don't think anybody in the company would consider it worth the headache. And I understand because it was a product of its time, and the time around it changed. So I'm like, just let it be. Let it be of the era it came from,
You know what? That's a very good point to end it off. Just let it be for its era.
Yeah.
That's well said, Anthony. And then spin transform into me again. His allergies must be going nuts, eh? Mine was like that this whole week. I had to take some Claritin.
I don't have any obvious allergies, so I've been doing okay.
Yeah, it just sneaks up on you when you least expect it.
Especially when the weather's changing.
Yes.
Oh, that's terrible. That's why we gotta live by the sea. When you live by the sea, all that salt air will clean up your whole system, your whole sinuses and everything.
Yeah.
And you have no allergies, man. Freaking awesome.
Probably bad for your vehicles, though.
I'm gonna be at the beach the whole entire day, so I don't care.
Yeah, it's true.
All right. So, what do you want to? I guess we got a few more minutes left, or what?
Well, we're at the 11 o'clock mark, so I think we should be wrapping up with finding out what upcoming reviews are happening for Monday and Friday.
Yeah. Well, because I got a wedding tomorrow, I made something nice and easy. This little green radioactive lizard skeleton, Kingdom Dracodon. It's vertebrate, but it's green. I have a little bit more to say. You can look for that tomorrow morning. I'm gonna hit post on my thing and then just go. So yeah. Beyond that, I don't know. You know who I might resurrect? One of the only third-party masterpieces I have. This guy here, Magic Square Light of Freedom.
Nice.
The big, lovely, friendly Sunbow Optimus Prime. I had a lot to say about him at one point, and I'm going to put it back on the net. And I'm not into huge, expensive third-party guys. I'm not into the masterpiece scale. This guy is an exception because he's just this big, colorful, friendly hero.
A friendly giant.
Yeah. And probably after that, I'm going to have finally give that DeLorean I had here a write-up because I only just got that. And it's old news, but it's interesting, and I want to talk about it.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's what's on tap on my end.
And where can you find all that?
childrenofprimus.com under the news and reviews section.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yes.
And we need more of that. What do I got to say? I hope I didn't bore people for the first 7 minutes of the show. I hope I did a good job. I got to give a lot of respect for those podcasters and those radio host guys that could do it on their own.
Yeah.
Right. That was like tough for me, man. Because the thing was, I wanted to really get into it, but at the same time too, I want my partners in crime to jump on and talk and critique and we're a gang here, man. Like, we're a brotherhood of Transformer fans, right? So I don't want to start off without those guys. And really, that's just an excuse because no, I'm kidding. But that was fun for those first 7 minutes. So I'd like to give a shout out to myself for doing that.
Yeah, it's, trust me, those few episodes where it's like I'm by myself for like however many minutes, I was just like it's a different experience. Like I have like a lot of respect for like YouTubers and podcasters that do this, and I think in most cases like they kind of record it and put it up, but to do it live like by yourself, like I mean, it's almost like doing a presentation in front of the classroom where unless
oh my god, you're right.
Yeah, unless you've already like figured out what you're presenting and like know like the possible questions for answers to any questions, that's the only way to really jump into it on your own.
I think so believe me, that's, or subconsciously I should say, that's why I think I got my homework done.
Nice.
Right. But you can find all that stuff on childrenofprimus.com.
Yes.
Right. You got any toys to sell? You got anything to trade? You got an event? You got some records, DVDs, comic books, trading cards, whatever, video games. Post. It's free. What are you waiting for?
Yep.
Don't be cheap. It's free. Come on.
Go
use it. Now. Exactly.
Now.
Do it now. What about you, Mike? What do you got to wrap up with?
I mean, wrapping up with what you guys said, check out Children of Primus, .com, and check out our news and reviews section, and Mondays and Fridays from the articles written for the talented Anthony, and also shout outs to TF Collect and to Bill, and I think we're missing one of our usuals
Calvin
for this week. Yeah, but I mean it's possible just because of whatever link mix up from earlier, but I know everyone's got something to do this time of year, so we may see them next week again. And and shout out to Professor D, who has disappeared halfway through the show. So
Well,
hopefully he's doing okay.
I think he got into his box of goodies and just started to open up everything.
Said,
And
peace out. I'm doing
he
this.
said, yeah, exactly. He said, peace out to us a long time ago and said, I'm playing with this stuff. But I'm going to be upset at him because he was supposed to show that stuff to us and to everybody else. So hopefully next week he will be so kind and show his box of goodies.
Yes.
All right, people.
All right, and that is it for this week.
It's been a pleasure, like always. So do we say peace out?
Peace out.
Till all are one.
Yes.
Take care, guys.
Great discussion from TF Collect, and have a good night to you as well.
Thank you, sir. You too.
Yes.